Hey guys, welcome to my first ever autumnal reading vlog. Now, as of today, as I'm filming this, it is the 22nd of September in the UK, which means it is officially the start of autumn. Now, when I did look online about this, it does vary slightly, so I don't know if I've got that right, but I thought, you know what, we'll go with the 22nd of September because it's a Monday. I just feel like that feels really nice. I think I'm going to do this up until like maybe mid to late October, so maybe let's do it for a month. Let's do it right up until the 22nd of October. And yeah, it's just going to be like a cozy reading vlog. I've got some autumnal reads I want to read. I've got some autumnal baking. I've got some autumnal walks. It's just autumnal. Now, bear in mind, it's not going to be Halloween because I'm not really a Halloween girly. I've got a reread that I want to reread with you guys. I read this last year, and this is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. And I'm sorry about my settings, by the way. It might come up a bit blurry. I'm not sure why that is. I've tried to fix it. Don't know. But anyway, I'm sure you know what it looks like. It's quite... Is it going to come up now? I'm trying to play with it. It's a really beautiful cover. I really do like this one. It's, like I said, with the Dream Harbour series, this is the first one in the series. So actually, it might be a nice thing if you've never read this before. We can read it together, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is a really... I love these books. Like I said, they're so cozy. They're so they really got me into cozy reading these books. I wasn't sure at first, but I wanted to try it and I loved it. I think I gave this 4 stars last time, so we'll see what happens. It's Grumpy Sunshine, I think, which I don't normally like, I think, if I remember, but actually this was kind of good. Yeah, I don't actually remember it all that well. I'll be shocked because I tend not to remember stuff. But yeah, Hazel, I think her name is. Is it Hazel? No, Jeannie, that's it. Jeannie and Logan, there we go. Then I have, this one's a fairly new one, Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. Again, I think this is autumnal because it's got autumnal leaves on the cover. This is gonna be different for me because it's all kind of like, it's about witches. Well, she's a witch, but it's set in the real world. I hope I like it. I think I will. Apparently there is a second book of this. I think it's called Uncharmed, I think. I don't know if I'm going to read it. I can see how I feel about this. And then if I like it, I'll read the second one and we can read it together. I don't know if that one's autumnal. It might be set in the spring. But even so, you know what? We can read it together. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. She turns, I think in the book, if I remember, she turns 30, which is interesting because I'm 29 and I turn 30 next year. So I wonder if it's going to be very relatable. And also I think it's set in the UK. So I think the author is British actually. So yeah, so we've got a British author and American author. Battle it out. I'm joking, I'm kidding. Now technically this one, we do have the second book, I think it is, The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which you're probably thinking, oh, why don't you read that? That's autumnal. Well, it's not. It's actually set in late summer, which I was disappointed with that book because of that. And also not just because of that, but I didn't really like the book anyway. So I won't be rereading that. Guys, if you do have any autumnal recommendations that are kind of cozy, then let me know. I don't know about scary books, if I'll be reading them. I don't think so. I just like to read these kind of books because it gets me in the like atmosphere of that season, if that makes sense. Whereas like, I know horror books or scary books could do that, but I feel like these just do it so much better. And they give me ideas as well, like, oh yeah, like why don't I bake that, or why don't I do that? I just want coziness, right? I just want coziness, and I think these are some good books to start with. My hope for this video is that it will be cozy and cute and all that lovely stuff. We shall see, won't we? We shall see. Hopefully, like I said, I'll update you as I read this. We'll be talking about it, we'll be discussing it. And so if you don't like these books, then I don't know what to say. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next clip. Hi guys, I just started reading this, literally just started, and I forgot in these books, it's really funny because they have playlist. It's like a Spotify playlist. Yeah, I just find that so funny. I have actually tried to listen. I don't have Spotify, but my partner does. He has the free version, so I have tried to listen to some of these. But like, We Fell in Love in October by Girl in Red. I might try and listen to these. I can't listen while reading though. Like I have to listen to know like people singing because it distracts me. Some of these I've heard of, some of these I'm like, so yeah, we've got We Fell in Love in October by Girl in Red, not heard that one. Dancing with Your Ghost by Sasha Sloan. I think some of them I may have heard because I think most of these are like TikTok sounds, you know. Invisible String by Taylor Swift, not heard that one. I don't like Taylor Swift, I'm sorry. If you're a Swiftie, then you might not want to listen to me because I don't like Taylor Swift. Autumn Leaves by Ed Sheeran. I won't be listening to Ed Sheeran because I don't like him either. Amobia by Claro. Not heard that one. I think I may have though. Falling by Harry Styles. Don't really like his music either. Remember That Night by Sarah Case. I think I know that song. Yeah. Hands to Myself by Selena Gomez. Yes, I know that one. Another Love. Yeah, Tom O'Dowd. Another Love, Another Life. Ceilings by Lizzie McAlpine. I think I know that one. Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift. I think I do know that one. Before You Go, Lewis Capaldi. I think I know that one. Haunted House by Holly Humberstone. Oh, I remember now. I know why that one's there. Cardigan by Taylor Swift. Don't know that one. Video Games by Lana Del Rey. Now I do stand Lana Del Rey, of course I know that one. It seems a bit weird to put video games in here though, like I wouldn't have put that anywhere in here, not that I can remember, but anyway. We've got Flicker by Niall Horan, the guy from One Direction, don't know that one. 34 plus 35 by Ariana Grande, don't know that one. The Night We Met by Lord Huron, yes.
Take me back to the night we met.
Dandelions by Ruth B, don't know that one. Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer, nope. Everything Has Changed by Taylor Swift, nope. Dreams by the Cranberries, yes. And Maroon by Taylor Swift. This author is clearly a Swiftie because there's like, how many songs actually? Let's see how many Taylor Swift songs we've got. 5. And only 1 Lana Del Rey. That is a crime in itself. But yeah, I might listen to some of those ones I haven't heard of though actually, but not the ones by Taylor Swift, sorry. But yeah, I might listen to the ones I'm not sure about. But yeah, I just thought that's interesting because I haven't really seen that in a book before reading it. I know it is a thing, but usually it's on the author's website, so I find that interesting that the author made a thing of like making sure that's included in the book. Let's get into it. Hey guys, me again. I've only just got about 9% in the book I'm reading, Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and I have to say, if I show you, so I'm marking it in orange tab every time it's like autumnal themes mentioned, so like pumpkins, leaves, all that kind of thing. And look, we're only like literally that much through and I've already got like 3 tabs quite close. I don't know if you can see that. Off the bat, it is giving you autumn themes. This is why I really recommend this book for autumn reading if you're into that kind of thing. I just wanted to mention something because obviously she's met Logan. She meets him literally almost like on the first page. And I like Logan because he's grumpy but he's not horrible. You know, in a lot of these books, like, at least not at the moment, I can't remember him ever being horrible. And they do suit together, and this is the thing, like, I don't normally do grumpy sunshine. Like, I don't like that kind of romance, especially if the guy's grumpy. It's usually, I don't mind it so much if it's reversed, but I do relate to him because he made a comment that he liked to get up really early, do all his business, and then go back to the farm because he's a farmer, right? He, like, does it really early in the morning, so he doesn't, like, kind of avoids people. And that's something that I would do. Like, I'm a morning person. He describes himself being a morning person, so I'm like, huh.
Maybe I'm a better match for you, Logan, you know, just saying.
I find that really relatable. And also, Jeannie, so the FMC, made a comment about Logan saying like he came and sat by and he smelled of wood smoke, which okay, that's a smell, but then fallen leaves, wood smoke and fallen leaves. How can someone smell like fallen leaves? Do you mean like dead rotting leaves? Because that's not a nice or pleasant smell. I don't think I've ever smelled fallen leaves. Is it an American thing? Do your leaves smell different to us? I get what she's trying to say. Like, you could just say he smells like autumn mornings. I don't know. But I just think, that's curious. I'm like, what does fallen leaves smell like? I don't know. Like, maybe the American leaves over there must smell like something. Yeah, I am working from home today, so when I'm on my break and things like that, I will be reading bits here and there. By the way, I lied to you guys. I actually gave this 3 stars when I last read it. I'm wondering if it is a 4 star. We'll see, won't we? We'll see how I feel about it the second time round. What I will say as well is obviously the author's called Laurie Gilmore, and every autumn, last autumn, me and my husband started watching Gilmore Girls, and I'm not gonna lie, TikTok influenced me to watch it, so I have been watching it, and yeah, you can tell the author's definitely inspired by Gilmore Girls. It is practically Gilmore Girls fan fiction as far as I'm concerned, apart from that she doesn't have a kid, so she doesn't have Rory. But yeah, it's just interesting. I do notice all the little characters. It's clearly inspired by Gilmore Girls. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's fine. I think I'm on series 2. I like it. It's cute. It's like me and my husband say, like, it's nothing amazing, it's very repetitive, but it's cozy, it's harmless, it's wholesome. There are some cute bits in it. I don't love it, but I don't like, it's watchable and it's good, and it's just fine. It's very middle of the road, but it is cute and it is cozy, and I think that's why we like to watch it. Maybe I'll update you on how I feel about Gilmore Girls, because I know a lot of people are jealous about that and they want to watch Gilmore Girls for the first time again, and I'm currently doing that. So yeah, although I do know roughly what happens because I have seen some spoilers, and I think I'm on series 2. I don't know, because obviously it's on Netflix, so you just watch it, don't you? I don't fucking know what series I'm on. But so very autumnal. I'm feeling very autumnal today. And actually today, I forgot to say earlier in my video, in my clip, that it's the first day where I've actually woke up and it's been really cold. Now it's meant to get quite warm later. I think it's going to be like 17 or 18 degrees, but it's the first time we've had frost on the car. When I went for my morning run, it was freezing. Cold air was coming out, so it's definitely feeling more autumnal. I don't know when I'll put the heating on. I guess if it falls in the minuses, then yeah. Why am I talking about the heating? You guys don't care for that. What am I talking about when I put my heating on? If you are interested, I probably will put it on in October. Hey guys, it's Tuesday morning and I thought I'd just update you because I'm about 25% through, I think, something like that, through Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. I love it, guys. You know I do. It's a reread for me, but it's so cute. It's so amazing. And they just found out that that little kitty there, which I think is a Persian cat, I don't really know what type of cat that is, but they found that this is the disturbance for the noises. That, I say it like that because she thinks there's a ghost, or like, okay, outside the cafe, just outside the cafe. And they've just found the source of the noise. By the way, I realised I didn't really talk very much about this, like what it is actually about. So it's because I did forget some of it. So Jeannie, the FMZ, she is working as an admin assistant to a CEO for about 7 years. And then she finds him one day dead at his desk because he's overworked and stressed. So she's been doing this for, like I said, about 7 years. And so her aunt, who owns this cafe, or owned rather, says to Jeannie, because Jeannie's really like, you know, quite traumatized by this, and it's kind of a bit of a reality check for her, like, do I really want to be doing this for the rest of my life? Because she's also quite stressed on her own, like just working. So her aunt's like, well, if you want, you can like take over the cafe. I don't know if it is indefinitely, it's never really made clear. I think it's just like a trial to see like how she does, and then if she really hates it or can't get on with it, then maybe her aunt comes back. Her aunt's like, I want to go to like an exotic, I think she ends up going to the Caribbean or somewhere like that. So do you want this cafe? She's like, okay, loving all the autumnal vibes. So yeah, it's really, guys, I know these type of books, like they are what they are, aren't they? They're just cozy, they're cute, they're harmless, like just go in with like no expectations, like don't expect a lot for these type of books. I will say though, there's a few like Americanisms that I'm not quite getting. Like, I don't know, they talk about s'mores, that's not really a thing here. I don't really get that. Like, is it the toasted marshmallows, what you would call they talk about that. There's something, I'm trying to find it now, where he's like, oh, what school did you go to? She's like, BU, and he's like, go Terriers. That's his response to that. And I'm like, what? And I think it's because BU, I'm guessing, because she's from Boston, is at Boston University, right? I don't know. And he's like, go Terriers. And then they talk about mascots, and I'm presuming that's a mascot. So yeah, there's like little things like that. And that was another thing that really confused me. They kept going on about these purple and yellow mums, right? And I was like, what? I had to Google it because I was really confused. I was like, what is a green and yellow mum? What is this? Turns out that the Americans call chrysanthemums, which is a type of flower, mums. They just shorten it and call it mums. And I'm like, oh. And obviously here in the UK, a mum is a mother. We call our mum mother. Like, we call our mother mum, and they call it mom. So yeah, anyway, it's just little things like that. And I was thinking, actually, I would love a British version of this, like a British version. Like, maybe it's set in Edinburgh or it's set in London. Maybe London's not that cozy actually, but you know what I mean, something like that. I wonder if there is, and you know it, let me know. I'm not going to stand the book for that. It's fine, it's, you know, it's set in America, so of course it's going to be Americanism. But yeah, it's cute. And you know, I do want to see, because I feel like in America, like, I don't know if this is, you know, guys, let me know if you are from this area. They set it in, like, they call it New Middle England. What's it that place called? New England. And it seems like autumn's really big over there, and like it seems like very kind of, all the leaves really do turn autumny. And apparently you guys have a leaf smell. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, it does seem really lovely and pretty. And like, obviously we have autumn here in the UK, but I feel like it's just not, I don't know, it is, we do have the leaf thing, obviously, and we do have the weather change, obviously, but it's just like, I don't know, I feel like in America they just do a better job of it. They do it. Yeah, they do. I don't know. But anyway, that's the vibes I get whenever I see it on TV. Read the books. You guys seem to do autumn really much better, and obviously Halloween and things like that. So I haven't got much time now because I've got to start work in a minute. But last night I watched Dracula, A Love Tale. Not illegally or anything. I've seen lots of edits on TikTok, and so I was influenced. I noticed that a lot. I've been saying how influenced I am by TikTok. TikTok does influence me quite regularly. I can't help it, guys. I am easily influenced, clearly. By the way, I've never read Dracula. I've never used a Dracula movie, apart from if you count Hotel Transylvania, which I don't, but there we go. And I kind of want to read Dracula now, and I kind of want to watch the original and all that stuff. I'm sold. It is so fucking good. And like, if you're a book girly, which obviously hopefully you are if you watch this, watch the fan edits. And that's what made me want to watch it. It's not even out yet. It's not out till like next year, I think. The yearning, the acting is phenomenal. The yearning, oh my gosh, he like yearns for her. Now on my book talk, so on my, you know, my TikTok account, which is linked in the description down below if you're interested, but I put some videos because there were some things I didn't quite get, and like, I don't really know the Dracula story all that well. I only know rough bits of it. like I said, I've never read it, never really watched it, so I was kind of going in a bit blind, and I think, to be honest, is probably the best way, because I know a lot of people are like,
oh, the Dracula, this version's better, this version's so much better, this version's so much better.
you know what, it probably is. Like I said, I can't read comics, I've not seen it, but I'm like, so what, like, let me like it. My only criticism with the movie that I watched was the ending, and everyone else has said this, that it was really rushed, and it wasn't a great ending, and there were some things that just were a bit confusing, but again, that could just be me. But yeah, I would just highly recommend it if you're into like yearning and love, and it made me feel like a hopeless romantic. I'm not a romantic, and there's me like giggling, like kicking my feet. I think the actor's name who plays Dracula is Caleb Landry Jones, I think that's it. Phenomenal actor, oh my goodness. I've not seen him in anything else, but he is. The only thing is, and I have seen people compare this version of Dracula to Willy Wonka. Yeah, I don't know why they made him look like that, but it is phenomenal. Unfortunately, the director is problematic, so you know, I don't feel too bad about not streaming it properly, if you know what I mean. I know that's a bit off topic, but technically it's book related, because it is technically a book. It focuses more on his love with Mina, so it focuses more on his love, obviously. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory in the title, whereas I think the other Draculas do try and stay more book accurate. I actually do have, I'm going to show you. It's not mine, I bought this for my husband, and he hasn't read it yet, and he's seen all the Dracula films. But look, this is the edition that we have. It's so beautiful. Look at that. And the gold is, honestly, I think we just fell in love with this book. Like when we saw it, we were like, we have to get that. It's absolutely stunning. So yeah, I might read this at some point. I don't know. If you guys are interested in me reading this for the first time, let me know, and I can do like a reading vlog with that, because I never ever wanted to read this. And isn't that strange, actually, now I think? 'Cause I really love vampire stuff. I love gothic. So why? I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it's because I was worried it would be too hard to understand, because it is a classic. So I was like, oh God, is it going to... But actually looking at it, I think I could understand that. I'm tempted to read it. Yeah, so guys, let me know if you recommend, if you think I'd really like Dracula, if you're interested in seeing my first thoughts in a vlog, then... you know how well I articulate, so but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next clip. So I've just reached halfway through the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, so I thought I would update you. It's really easy to read, by the way, this book. I forgot to mention, like, it's so, like, there's lots of breaks in it. It's got kind of biggish font. I don't know, I just find it really easy to read. It's just such an easy read, but it did make me laugh because I forgot about this. They've got a book club, that they go to this cafe, right, for this book club, and they're reading smutty books. And it's all like about a sexy farmer and a milkmaid, and she's obviously crushing on Logan, or dating him, whatever, who is a farmer. So she's kind of like feeling it, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I just thought that was really funny. And now we're getting to this, like, we get in there with the making out and stuff, and they're both kind of hesitant and they're not sure. Do we want to kiss? Do we not? They're both for different reasons. Jeannie because she's scared about falling in love, I think, and Logan's also scared about falling in love, but it's because he's been really hurt in the past by a woman, and Jeannie by, I don't know what she's really hurt. I think she's just literally just scared because she's never had like a serious relationship before. I'm also really liking the relationship between Jeannie and her brother. Her brother doesn't live in Dream Harbour. He lives in, I can't remember what she said, was it LA? I think he lives in LA. He actually becomes a character, is it in the second or third book? He becomes one of the main characters, I can't remember. It's in the Christmas Tree Farm, isn't it? I think. I like their relationship, I think it's quite cute. They're just quite close, and yeah, their relationship's quite cute because they text each other quite a lot and text about their day and stuff, and I just think that's really lovely. Wouldn't we all want that from our siblings? Oh, and it's New England, by the way. The town is New England. I knew it was something like that. What did I say? New Middle England. Yeah, it's in New England. That's what I meant earlier in my other clip. I don't know what hell I said before, but it's New England. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to finish this pretty soon, to be honest. I can see myself finishing it, if not today, then... Probably not today, but definitely by Friday. I mean, it's Tuesday today, so... There's a thing with Norman and her aunt. So Norman is this old guy that still works in the cafe, and she's kept a lot of the old staff on. He's got a bit of a thing for her auntie, and her auntie did actually go somewhere, Saint something, I can't remember. I want to say St. Michael's, but I could be wrong. So I think it's obviously somewhere in the Caribbean, and she's having the time of her life. But there's something going on. I forgot that. There's something going on between her and this Norman, Dr. Norman. He's still in love with her. Yeah, guys, it's just so cute. It's... Get this, get it. Also, in other news, I think I may be coming on with a bit of a cold, because I always get one this time of year, like in sort of mid-autumn. I always get a cold. I've noticed that. It's usually late September, early October, which is 23rd today, so makes sense. Bit worried, and there is something going on around at work at the moment, so yeah, not great. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next clip. Hey guys, I thought I would update you. It's been a while. It is now Friday today. I'm working from home, I'm on my break, and I thought I would update you because I have finally finished The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. That's all the times that autumn things were mentioned. Does that make sense? Yeah, so as you can see, and I started running out of orange tabs. I really need to get some more tabs actually, because I'm running out, I'm really low. Quite a lot. Anyway, what did I think about it the second time on my reread? Still love it. I do still think it's a 4-star, a very high 4-star. I think the reason I can't quite give it a 5-star is as much as I love it, and I love it for the vibes, the coziness, I love the characters. The story's not bad. I think the writing's just not great. It's not awful, but it's just not great. And I do know that this author does improve in the later books, so yeah, just bear that in mind. The first one isn't as good, but it gets a lot better. Please bear in mind, I don't know if I did mention this in my previous clips, this does contain spice. It's not hugely spicy, but it is spicy, so just bear that in mind, because I think the cover is a bit misleading. It looks kind of cutesy and whatever, but it's, yeah, and it's more towards the end of the book. That was my complaint last time. I did feel that the spice was just thrown in at the back, and it did seem a bit rushed. Like, it's almost like the author thought, like, oh shit, this is meant to be spicy, I better quickly put it somewhere, and it was all just at the back. I don't know why I didn't really feel it this time. I don't know if I'm not sure where that was. I felt like it didn't actually feel that rushed this time. Maybe because I knew it was going to happen, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm not sure why I didn't feel like it was as rushed. It's very slow burn. Logan was kind of annoying me at one point because he was going too much into like, so they want to keep their relationship, their dating a secret, because the town's really like nosy. Obviously it's a small town, and he's been hurt before, she's been hurt before. I think I said this in my clip anyway, but he like keeps going about that, like to the point where it's like, okay, you're kind of getting a bit annoying with that now. And then to be fair, his friends call him out on it. It's like, you've got abandonment issues, like this is getting ridiculous now, like, you know, you're being a bit over the top about it. Like, you can't just get up and leave every time because you're scared that Jeannie's going to leave you. Like, you know, you can't live your life like that, basically. Obviously, it is upsetting what you went through, no one's denying that, but yeah, anyway. And what I did like about this book is actually at the end, and I forgot this happens, he goes to therapy, which I thought, oh, that's quite good. Like, there's good representation of that, and he realises that's a problem, so he goes to therapy to work on that, which I thought, I liked that. I thought, yeah, just, I don't know what to say really, other than it is just cute. It's just so cozy. You just feel like it's a nice warm hug, and that's how I felt reading this. It had all the autumnal vibes, and I keep saying autumnal, and I want to stop saying it, but I'm going to be saying that word a lot in this vlog. I do like the relationship between Logan and Jeannie. He's not, even though I don't tend to go for grumpy sunshine, especially if the guy's grumpy, I didn't mind it this time so much because he's not, I don't like horrible, I don't like enemies to lovers. I think grumpy's okay if they're just a bit reserved, but I don't like it so much when they're like horrible. He wasn't horrible to her. Like, he wasn't exactly nice to her all the time, like, but he wasn't horrible. Do you know what I mean? Am I making any sense? But yeah, so I think that's why I got on with it a bit better. Yeah, there was lots of references to, like, obviously autumn stuff. Like, so they had apple cider donuts, which I've never had. Warm cider, I didn't even know that was a thing. Apparently that's a thing. Yeah, and I just, everything about it was just lovely. And they had the fall, I really want to go to Dream Harbour Fall Festival. Why was that so hard to say? I want to go to their fall festival and like be all cutesy. It's just, it is what it is. It's what's on the tin, you know. Don't expect genius writing or anything. Just go in with very low expectations and you will be moderately surprised. I can't recommend this enough if you want the ultimate cozy autumn read. But yeah, that's it. And then I start Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. So I can't wait to start that. What have I got planned this weekend? Well, Saturday we will be finishing the kitchen ceiling. I'm not going to go too much into that because it's a bit boring. You're not here for that. And then we're going out with the in-laws, I believe, for a meal. I think I don't know yet. I need to double check plans with that. And then Sunday, if the weather's good, we're going to go to Westonbirt Arboretum, which isn't like massively far from where I live, so that will be nice. And that is basically a big foresty type place. You have to pay to get in, which is a bit shit, but I have been before and it's beautiful this time of year because all the trees are like, you know, changing colour, and I just think it's just a really nice walk, and I just want to be in nature this weekend, so I feel like it's calling me. I want to look at trees. I love trees, by the way. Fun fact about myself, I think they're beautiful, I think they're interesting, they fascinate me. But yeah, so you know, hopefully, like I said, it's all very dependent on weather and stuff, so yeah, that's me this weekend. And then next week we are celebrating Andy's birthday on the 2nd of October. We're going away from Wednesday and we come back on the Saturday, and we're going to Nottingham. Yeah, we're going to, because my husband loves Warhammer, so we're going to Warhammer World. Yeah, I must really love him, that's all I'm going to say. But I am getting something out of it because hopefully I will be doing a bit of book shopping. We'll see what we buy. Maybe I'll do a mini haul, maybe I'll show you guys, maybe I won't, I don't know, we'll see what we like I said, I'm trying to sort of like mindful of how much it's all going to cost. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to try and start Rewitched maybe at some point today, I don't know yet. I'll just keep updating you. I do plan to do, so obviously go see Arboretum, and then I do want to bake like cinnamon swirls. That's my new thing, like I want to try and do that. It looks really fucking hard though, so I think if that fails and then I just end up doing a shit job of that, then there is like the premix kind of things you can buy, which is cheating a little bit, but hey ho, we're not all bakers, are we? And I have a really shit oven as well. It's honestly shit. That's enough of that. I shall see you in the next clip. Guys, I thought I'd just quickly pop on. It is Sunday evening, and I'm just going to take all my makeup off, so I thought while I do that I'll just quickly talk to you. I have just started, and I mean literally just started, Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. I can't talk too much about it because I'm literally only on chapter 2, but so far, yeah, it's cute, and we have got autumnal references, so it definitely is autumn. It's set in October. I don't know if it stays in just autumn, but yeah, like I said, so far I can't really say a lot because it's just literally just started. So yeah, but so far I am liking it. I know it's very early on, but yeah, I am liking it so far. We have just been today. We went to Westonbirt Arboretum. We did go in the end. It's been absolutely beautiful today. It's just so beautiful today. It's been such a lovely autumnal type of day. Like it's been really sunny, but like not massively cold, like not to the point where I've been like, oh my god, it's so cold, but like it's definitely jacket weather, but it's not, yeah, it's just, I don't know why I'm talking to you about the weather, but it's just, honestly, it's been so lovely today. It's just been beautiful, and we got to see all the like Acer trees and things like that, and the maples, and yeah, we just had a really nice day. And you're like you said, you've probably seen it in the clips that I'm going to be putting on for you. What I actually came on here to talk about, it's not really book related, although you could say it technically is, because the Pumpkin Spice Cafe was inspired by this. At least I don't know if that's actually right, but I'm definitely almost positive it was. I did say I might update you with this, but we've been watching Gilmore Girls, and yeah, I just thought I'd talk to you a bit about it. I think we're on like episode 20 in series 1. We started watching it last autumn, and we kind of gave up because I don't know, we just kind of lost it a little bit. I think we tried to watch it again, but it was summer and it didn't feel right. I think in the autumn / early winter, I think it kind of makes sense to watch it around that time, just because that's where it's usually set. I don't think it's ever set in the summer. I mean, if it is, guys, let me know, but I don't think it is. But anyway, just, you know, it doesn't matter really, you can do what you want, you watch it in the summer, who cares. But yeah, I do like Lorelai as a character, as a mum, but we've been having interesting discussions, and I've seen things on TikTok like, oh, is she like a good mum? Because, you know, obviously she does try her best, she clearly does love Rory, you know, and no parent is perfect, totally get that, but, you know, she does this thing with Rory, I've noticed, and a lot of people have said this on TikTok and things like that Lorelai struggles with boundaries with Rory, in that she treats her like she's her friend instead of like her mum, which there's nothing wrong with, by the way, having your mum as your friend, but you need to have some sort of a boundary, you know, especially if Rory's young, which she is, like she's 16, so there needs to be some kind of like boundary there, yeah, which is difficult. And I know she had Rory when she was young and all the rest of it, so I do understand. It's really funny, isn't it, because this was filmed, I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe this was the first series anyway, was released, I want to say 2004, but I could be wrong, okay, so don't quote me on that, but it's essentially the early 2000s, right? And there's like stuff we've noticed, like there's some kind of inconsistencies, it's only very, 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 very minor, but like you'll see things on like the boom box, like is it the boom, what they call it, the boom, the thing, that the microphone thing, you see that sometimes. I mean, Andy notices more than I do. And there's things that there was like a hair on the screen, but it wasn't on our screen, it was on their screen. It's like little things like that. And obviously TV has improved so much now, but back then, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, but their budget wasn't quite there, and they just, I don't know, it's just interesting to see, isn't it? Yeah, so much has changed in TV now, and how like budgets have changed. Even like a first series is usually still pretty good in terms of that, so I don't know, it's just it's given me a lot to think about. I am getting a little bit bored with the format because it's kind of the same thing, and I know that doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing. For example, one of my favourite TV series is Sex and the City, and now I do understand that is problematic, it can be, some of the characters, it's not aged well, let's just say that, and unfortunately I don't think in most TV series and films and stuff of that time have aged particularly well. It had the same kind of format for at least a very long time, and at the moment, who knows, maybe in series 2, series 3 it will change, but at the moment it's just Lorelai, so the mum and the daughter, going to their rich grandparents every Friday night for dinner, and it's the same formula. The mum and Lorelai argue and they don't really get on, and it's like, okay, we get it now, like there's been 3 episodes of this, like it gets a bit boring. So actually there was one episode, it's one of my favourite ones so far, and the grandparents went in at a tour, and don't get me wrong, I think the people who play them, I think the acting, by the way, is fantastic. I think they're really good actors, all of them. There's not one that I don't think is particularly a good actor, but it's just like the formula's getting a little bored already, and it's like, we get it, like we don't need to have this shown to us every single time. Unless you're doing something different with the Friday night dinners, I don't really think we need to see it. You know, we get it, they don't really get on, there's some harsh words said, the end. But yeah, there was one episode where it was nothing to do with the grandparents, and that was actually quite good. So yeah, I do think that gets a bit tired, the formula. It would be interesting to see going forward what happens with that, and like I unfortunately have stumbled on some kind of spoilers, so it's a bit annoying because I know that at the moment she's looking at getting, I think she wants her own, Lorelai, sorry, she wants her own inn, and they're just looking at getting that, and I seen merch, like Gilmore Girls merch for the Dragonfly, and they keep mentioning, oh, I don't know if I'm going to go for the Dragonfly, and I'm like, oh, you're going to get that. So it's like little things like that, and I think Rory ends up being a lawyer or something, I'm not sure. So yeah, I mean, it's little things, and it's not really a massive spoiler, but I am interested because there's 7 series of this, and I'm like, how can they make 7 series of this? Like, apparently the first 2 series are really great, and then there is a bit of a lull, but this happens with all TV series. There's always one series or 2 that's not particularly good, but I am interested to see where they're going to go with this, because like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, what really, especially once Rory goes to, is it Harvard she wants to get into, I think it is, or Yale, I don't know, one of those American big wig universities, once she gets there, which she's obviously going to do, let's be honest, or maybe she doesn't, maybe that's the twist, I don't know, but when she does, what's going to happen with the storyline, because it's just going to be Lorelai, and then I guess she comes back on her breaks and stuff. I don't know, guys, I don't know. But it'd just be interesting, I suppose, to see what happens with that. Also, I have to say, right, I really ship Rory with Paris. Like, I think they would make such a great couple. And like, yeah, I do see like, okay, they're enemies to lovers, whatever. But I know why the show didn't do it back then, because obviously, I don't know, like, you know, gay couples weren't really the norm. Like, they were the norm, but what I mean is they weren't the main story, were they? Let's be honest, back then. It's getting better, and I do think if Gilmore Girls was filmed today, I think they might have made Rory gay. I think they would have chosen to make her gay, because honestly, like, she's just broke up with Dean, which is like her first boyfriend, and I'm like, yeah, they have very little chemistry on screen, you know, and I think her and Paris have more chemistry. And I don't know, like, Rory's an academic girly, right? She's really into all that. So is Paris. They just have more of a thing going on. I feel like they would get each other. I just feel like they're very similar, but not too much where it would clash. Whereas her and Dean, like, I don't know. I think they would make a really cute, great couple. And I wish that they would be together, because they clearly need to be. I know it's not going to happen, I just know it's not, because I don't think they make Rory gay, which is a shame, because I don't know why, and I'm the most straightest person ever, right? Like, I am straight, and I am aware that me as a straight person coming in and saying this, but it's like, I just think she's gay. Like, I'm like, she's gay. Like, I don't know, she gives me gay vibes, and I would love to see it. It's just such a shame, because I just feel, honestly, if Gilmore Girls was done today, I feel like Rory would be gay. I would love to see it, and I just think she's gay. Like, I can't explain it. It's not working out because you're gay. It's not working out with any of these guys because you're gay. I am fully aware that Rory is only 16, right, and it's her first boyfriend. Totally get it. Totally get that she's inexperienced and all the rest of it. Not judging her for that. And I was saying with this, me and my husband were talking about this, right, because I know, is this an American thing, right, because they were together, like, they've been, like, properly together, like, not dating, but, like, boyfriend, girlfriend for 3 months. And he said, and this is what part of the reason why they broke up, by the way, he said for the first time, I love you, right, and Rory freaked out. She was, what the fuck? She was like, okay, she wasn't quite like that, but she was like, oh my god, you said I love you. Basically, when they broke up, because she was like, I don't know if I feel that way. I'm like, okay, but you've been going out with him for 3 months. What do you mean you haven't said you love you? Like, I don't know, guys, it probably is me, right? It's probably me, but like, you haven't said I love you. He's your boyfriend. Like, what do you do when you, like, write a card, like a birthday card, and you just go, all the best, Rory? Like, I don't know. Is it an American thing? Is it me? I don't know. Like, I get it. She's 16. I'm probably deep in this way too much. But yeah, it was probably a bit too hot and heavy too soon. But that was something I thought was a bit weird. But I have seen that a lot in, like, American TV series. Like, in Sex and the City, that was a big thing. Like, when they said I love you, and it's like, I thought Americans love showing their emotions. I thought they wear it on their fucking sleeve. Clearly not. Clearly we the Europeans, are the ones of love. Clearly, because I don't know what I'm doing, by the way. Just thought that was interesting. And if you are American and you happen to watch this, tell me, why are you not saying I love you to your boyfriends? Why? I do want to read a bit more of Rewitched. I might read a little bit later, but if I'm being honest, I just kind of want to be a bit dumb today. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just want to watch Gilmore Girls and switch off my brain. So yeah, I'm working from home tomorrow, so I might even have a bit of time on my break and things like that to read. It's going to be October next week, so, well, the start of October, so yeah, still a Gilmore Girls stan. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a stan. I do like Gilmore Girls. I don't love it, I don't hate it, I just like it, you know. So far so good, but I am interested. And if you guys have watched it, please don't give me spoilers, but just, like, yeah, comment below, say what you love. Yeah, so don't give me spoilers, but let me know kind of like who your favourite character is and why and stuff. I don't know, just talk to me about it. Anyway, guys, I shall see you in the next clip. Hello, it is Monday afternoon. I'm on my break at work, so I thought I'd just quickly pop in because I've reached 12% of Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. What do I think of it so far? Like I said, I've got a bit more into it now. I've reached chapter 4. I'm loving it, and I just have to say that the writing is so much better in this one. I believe this is the author's debut, and I've got to say, for a debut, it's really good. Like I said, I'm still very early in it yet. I probably will speak to you next unless there's something particularly I want to point out. but there is, when I reach 50%, I always try and check in with you guys when I'm doing a type of vlog. The main character, who's called Belle, it's really weird, I'm reading New Moon as well at the moment. Oh, God, here we go, mentioning Twilight, by Stephanie Meyer, and she's called Bella and she's called Belle, so it's like Bella, Belle, Belle, Belle. I've got to say, the main character, she's so relatable because she's obviously in the book, she's 29, I'm 29, and yeah, I'm getting a bit more of the story now. So she has kind of like been neglecting her powers. So they, in this kind of world, it's set in the real world, at least I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I think it is. So it's set in the real world. She works in a bookshop in London. So when they get magic powers, like the witches get magic powers when they turn 15, then at age 30 they have to basically prove their powers, like if they've been using it and what they've been using it for. And it's kind of like a bit of it's called a trial, and they have to like basically prove to like the coven or the elders that they're not misusing them or abusing them. But she hasn't really been using them for the last couple of years because she's just been so busy, life's got in the way, and so she's quickly like, oh shit, like, because if she doesn't use them they will take the powers off her. I'm not quite sure why or how that works fully, but it just says like, we will take the powers off you. So yeah, she really wants to keep her powers, but she's using it for like, I guess what would be in their world be seen like, or by their eyes be seen as kind of silly, because like she uses it. And to be honest, I was thinking if I was a witch I would probably do this too, like if I was a proper witch, right? So they're using it to like stir stuff. They use their finger, like, you know, it's very kind of whimsical in that sense. Or like, I don't know, trying to think of an example, like she kind of has like that finger magic, you know, you see in TV where like they'll move something with their hand. It's kind of like that. She's not really using it for the greater good, if you know, like not to really help people as such. I think she does, her mum is using it for that kind of thing, but she isn't. So they're like, well, if you're not, you know, we've only got a limited amount of power and magic, so if you're not really using it, then we need to give it to someone else. I don't know how that works, it's a bit weird, but yeah, it was like a coming of age story. I know it's not because she's, you know, 29, but I do relate to that kind of like going into like being an adult, like a proper adult. There's stuff that I feel like when you're in your 20s you can get away with a lot more, but when you hit 30, I mean, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm in that awkward age, but I feel like you can't get away with, like, I don't know, you know, by society standards, I guess I'm talking here, like maybe living with your parents, or I don't know, dating loads of people or sleeping around. I don't know, guys, like I'm just putting it out there, you know. I don't know, like obviously this is just societal pressures, I get that. I do get that kind of pressure to quickly conform, and if you haven't done that you get all these loose ends tied up before you hit 30, you know, make sure you've got a proper career. I don't really believe in that, but you know, whatever, you do you. Do I like it more than pumpkin spice? I think I might. In the beginning of right early on, she meets a guy who comes into the bookstore and he's like a warlock, he's in the world basically, in this witchy world, and he's like, oh, he's the one that's like prompting her to like look at this letter that said all this thing about the witch trials. He's like, have you read that letter yet, basically, you know, this is in the most basic sense. And she's like, no. And he's like, well, you need to do that, and you need to do that now. And she's like, I don't know, they have this kind of enemies to lover vibe going on a little bit. She's like, all right, chill out. And he's like, no, you need to do it now, like you need to do it now. And he like won't leave her alone until she does it, kind of thing. So he's like, it's really urgent, you need to do that. Don't really get who he is. I think he's a part of the coven or something. I'm hoping it will be kind of explained later. I think he might have said, actually, and I just missed it. There was also, and I'm trying to find it and I cannot find it, but there was a part, oh, I think it might be this bit, but there was something, it might be this bit. I'm going to read it to you because I just thought it was so beautiful. Magic in the mundane can be difficult to find, but it is always waiting patiently somewhere, snuffling quietly, curled up like a sleeping animal, and ready to be found by those searching hard enough. I just thought that was pretty. I just thought that was really cute and pretty, and yeah, I just love that kind of writing, and I think I'm going to love this book. I predict a 5-star. I just can't believe this is a debut. It's so good. Oh, and that was it. Something I want to talk about. Guess what it has, but this is at the back, which, you know, is quite unusual, but we have a playlist. So here we go, there's the playlist. Let's go over the playlist. And I don't see, oh, there's one Taylor Swift, oh damn, oh, there's two, okay, there's some Taylor Swift, for God's sake. Okay, anyway, Vienna by Billy Joel, I know that one, that's a good one, like that one. For God's sake. Practical Magic by Alan Silvestri. I feel like that's one I've heard of, but I couldn't, like, I don't know it, if that makes sense. Like, I probably have heard it before, but I don't know it. Does that make sense? There She Goes by the Lars. Yeah, I know that one.
There she goes again.
Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic by The Police. Yep, know that one, like that one. We've got Willow Moonlit Witch version by Taylor Swift. Never heard that, but I'm kind of intrigued to listen to that. What's the witch version? of Taylor Swift. I didn't know she did witch versions. I thought she just did Taylor's version. Ironic by Alanis Morissette.
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think? Is it that one? I like that one. Nothing New by Taylor Swift and Phoebe Bridgers. Don't know that. You're So Vain by Carly Simon. Yeah, I think I know that one. Coffee by Bebe Boudi. What? I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, I don't know. Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. Yes, of course. No, that one. You're on Your Own, Kid, Taylor Swift, for God's sake. No, I don't know that one. You Get What You Give by New Radicals. I think I know that one. A Kind of Magic by Queen. I think I know that one. Rhiannon by Rihanna. You can't have a witch book without Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac, can you? Season of the Witch by Lana Del Rey. Yes, as you know, I'm a Lana stan. Of course I know that one. Loveful by The Cardigans. Yeah. This Kiss by Faith Hill. Don't know that. All My Ghost by Lizzie McAlpine. Did her and Laurie Gilmore get together and put like the shittest playlist ever? Because like so far I'm not that impressed. Although it is better than the Pumpkin Spice one. Edge of 17 by Stevie Nicks. Yep. Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Yes. Sunshmai by Dario G. Never heard of that. Cardigan by Taylor Swift. I swear that was in the other one. And Dreams by the Cranberries, and that was in the other one. They literally got together and said, right, let's just do the same list. How many Taylor Swift? So 4 Taylor Swift from what I can see, and 1 Lana Del Rey. Awful, but at least there's no Ed Sheeran or Harry Styles or any of those other basic bitches. We'll let it slide. That's a better playlist, I have to admit. And we've got some vintagey ones. We've got Fleetwood Mac, so you know, it could be a lot worse. But no, thanks guys, and I will see you in the next clip. Guys, I just thought I'd quickly pop in because yesterday we got back from Nottingham. I thought I need to apologise. First of all, I'm absolutely full of cold, like really bad. So I do apologise if I'm sniffling, sneezing, etc. But if I don't update you now, I will forget and things, you know, will get jumbled. Things will get jumbled. So I thought I would quickly pop on and update you. Now, we did have a really good time in Nottingham. I did get a few books, but I'm going to be showing that in another video because I need more content, okay? If you're interested, it will probably be out before this video anyway, so you probably would have seen that. Overall, we had a good time. The main reason was because it was Andy's birthday and obviously he wanted to go to Warhammer World. That was really why we went, but of course we did look in the town. And I gotta say, Nottingham's fine, but if I'm being completely honest, and no offence if you do live or are from Nottingham, I don't know if I'd go back there. If I'm being honest. I don't really want to say too much. It was just fine. I mean, the shopping experience was quite nice. They had a really big Waterstones, which is our UK bookshop, and it was like 4 stories for, what do you call it? Grounds? I don't know what you call it. I'm sorry guys, I'm so sorry, I've got such a bad cold. But yes, it was fantastic. Loved it there. I would have loved more charity shops though. I am a charity shop girly, so I would have loved to see more charity shops. There were a few, but not enough really, but you know, whatever. Not going to put a town down, but city down because of that. Anyway, I'll give you first of all an update on this book. I know I said I'd only update you when I reached halfway, but to be honest with you, I've been really struggling to read this, and it's not the book's fault, it's because of me. I've been full of cold. This is going to be really hard to film because I keep sneezing. I probably cut this out, but I just keep sneezing. But like I said, I have to video this today, because if I don't video it today, I will forget. I know what I'm like, and things won't make sense. And there's something else I want to show you. It's a bit of a surprise. I want to show you why it looks all nice, if that makes sense, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Just stay with me, please. But anyway, I'm 34% through or something like that, and I've got to say, I was really liking the first 2 chapters, and then, yeah, this is a 5-star, I'm loving this. And as it's gone on, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I love the writing. The writing's beautiful. I'm still happy with the writing. I just feel a bit, and again, this could be because of me, I don't know, but I find myself not really wanting to pick it up. And so she's going, the main character, I think her name's Bao, is going through a trial, a witch trial, to basically, I think I explained this in the other clip, but she wants to keep her powers. But they're basically saying to her, you can only keep them if you're using them properly. I don't know, it's all a bit weird, but anyway. So they're going through this, but I like it because she's come back to the bookshop now. Because that gets a bit heavy, and that's where because I get it, it's a fantasy, and it is cute, but it's a bit intense in parts, which sounds a bit odd to say, but it kind of is. And I just want something where she's just working in a little magical bookshop, maybe. I want something cozier, and I feel like this is cozy, but it's not cozy. It's not kind of, I don't know, like when she's back in the bookshop I like it, but when she's doing this Witch trial I don't really care for it. It's fine, I'm going to keep going, I do like it. I just don't love it as much as I did when I first started reading, but I don't know, like let's see. Now the surprise, well, it's not really a surprise, but well, it kind of is, because I haven't talked to you about this. So I don't know where to start with this because it sounds a bit, I don't know what the word is, a bit consumery of me, capitalistic of me, and I'm not about that really. But I have been influenced. So every year, we started last year, my husband gets me a boo basket. If you don't know what a boo basket is, if you don't have TikTok, because it's all over TikTok, then I don't know, just Google it. But he got me a boo basket, bless him. He did get me a bit too much, which I have told him off about. It was presented to me much nicer, but I thought I'd just show you bit by bit. I know it's not really book related, but it kind of is. There's some things that are kind of book related. It's just cozy. So this is a cozy autumnal vlog, reading vlog, so it kind of fits in. But I'll show you somewhere here, wherever I decide to put it, what it looked like when it was presented to me. We use the same basket every year, so sustainable, you know. I don't demand this from him, by the way. I just say, you know, just make it really cute. I was quite happy with like a mini one, like in a mug or something, like bookmark and some like little spray or something, I don't know. But alas, he did get me the full works, bless him. Well, I think it's the full works, and I'm very grateful, and I love him to bits, and you know, bless his heart. He does stagger it out as well. I don't know why I feel the need to explain this to you, but I think it's because like I don't want you to feel bad if like your significant other, your partner or whoever doesn't do this for you, because I get it. It's a bit gimmicky, but we just, you know, we don't have kids, we don't have any responsibilities other than our bills. We like to do this kind of thing now and again. Why not? You know, if we can afford it, which, you know, we can't really, but it's not something that we're making ourselves in debt for. So please don't feel bad, you know, if your partner doesn't do this. It's just, I just want to share, because a lot of these stuff are cozy, and you know, they're not massively expensive either. So anyway, it's just a bit of fun, guys. So this is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe colouring book. Gonna go blurry, isn't it? Can you see it now? Love this. I saw it in the works again. Promo for the works if you ever want to sponsor me. And I saw it and he bought it, but he tried to be sneaky about it, and I was like, by the way, I haven't apologised for this. I just realised you can see my hair. It looks wet. It's because I've just had a shower. So yeah, I don't know why. I just realised that you probably think, why the hell does the hair look all wet? It's not greasy. I've had a shower. It's just, yeah, I can't bother to dry it properly. Anyway, it's really cute. And it has like, this is one of my favourites. And it's got like little quotes. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. Well, quotes. Yeah, I think it is. Some of it I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like some of it looks a bit, if I'm being honest, for like, something I really want to get into colouring, but some of this looks a bit too intricate for me, like that. I like the big, was it Coco Y, those kind of colouring books I kind of wanted, but this is fine. Like is it, like, you know, it's cute, he knows I like this, bless him. But yeah, it was a £5 because he said he did look at these, but they were quite expensive, and I said, yeah, don't go out of your way for them or anything. I have these, so these go with it, which is obviously the colouring girlies all like to have. And I believe, I don't know if these are any good, but as in like, you know, but he did say if I, because obviously he doesn't, this is the first time I've kind of got into this, so he doesn't really, and they're double-sided. Ugh. But yeah, I don't know, can you see that? Yeah. So obviously these are, you know, if I get really into these, then he'll get me, or I can get myself, I suppose. He doesn't need to get me, but some good, really like good ones. I think they look fine to me. They look quite good actually. Oh, it says include stack and store desk tray. I didn't even realise this. It like comes out, okay, hang on a minute. So that they come like that, so you can sort of store them. That's kind of good. I might get like a thing for them though, because I haven't got a room to do this really, at least at the moment. So I think I'm gonna just get like a bag to put these all in. I've probably got a bag somewhere I can put these all in. He got me these like sweets and snacks from Aldi, had to take them in. So these are, because I don't, these are vegan ones. I don't eat pork or beef, so yeah, I only eat so I don't eat pork or beef. I don't know why I made that so complicated. A lot of sweets contain gelatin, so if you are vegan, I'm not vegan, but these ones for Aldi are really good. I like the their Percy Pig dupes from Aldi. I can't remember what they're called, but they're like dupes of Percy Pig. Love this chocolate. Yeah, they don't really have a lot to say. It's just really good chocolate from Aldi. Now these, oh my god, these are so beautiful. So this one, I know it's not really autumn themed, but it's from Etsy, and I'll try and link the seller below if I remember, or if I can. I think it's still on my wish list on Etsy, but I'm really into bookmarks, by the way, and I love orcas. And this is my, look at, is it gonna do it? Is it gonna show? Is it gonna show? But yeah, this is, look at that. I mean, it's got different whales, but it's got narwhals as well, and I love narwhals. Yeah, that's the tiny toucan. There you go. So I don't have to link it. That's who it is on Etsy. The tiny toucan. Got a little tassel. Love that. Guys, look at that. I don't know, is he gonna be able to see it? Then we've got, is it gonna come up? And it says, I don't know if you can see that, but it says pumpkin spice. And it's just a really cute, can you see that? Oh, it's not going to let you see it, is it? It's gone all blurry. It actually has a black cat in the window, and that's called Simply Katie. So actually I don't need to link them because they're at the back of the bookmark. But yeah, and I'm gonna, because I was looking for an autumn bookmark for so long and I nearly got myself one, so don't have to do that now, so that's good. And then this is just a candle from, I say just a candle, it's still lovely. It doesn't smell, it's unscented, but I just love candles, and this is just a grey hexagonal pillar candle, so I'll be using that. And then this one is a cinnamon cider Yankee candle one. Oh, so nice. I love the smell. I don't know if you can see that. I love the smell of cinnamon. What can you say about that? It's just beautiful. I didn't know there was a cinnamon cider scent, so that's cool. When we went to Westonbirt Arboretum, they had a shop there, and he got me these like pumpkin candles. They're not scented, but they're really cute. I don't normally like pumpkins. I don't like, I'm not a Halloween girly, I'm an autumn girly. I think I've said this before, but he said like I had to get you something like this because it's just, or it's still autumn themed. So I was like, okay. This is from Habitat in Sainsbury's. It comes like this. So it's oak and fallen acorn scented candle. Very nice. If I can open it, that would be great. And it comes in like a really pretty autumnal type. I love that. I think it's beautiful. And it smells really nice. It smells fallen acorn. Fallen acorn. Why is this? What is? First we had fallen leaves, now we've got fallen acorns. Well, now I know what it smells like. Yeah, it smells more like oak. It's definitely more woodsy smell, but I like that. If you like woodsy, that's nice. It's quite nice actually. I've got like a woodsy and a cinnamon smell. Yeah, smell. I've got a woodsy and a cinnamon smell. So that's good. I like that. So then we have some, well, he just wanted me to get me some like autumny or like Halloween-y type sweets, but these like little chocolates, but they got pumpkins on, again from Aldi. And then these I absolutely love. I really love pyjamas from Sainsbury's. However, they do tend to shrink in the wash, so just be mindful of that. It's quite a common problem they have, but anyway, as soon as I saw them in the basket, I was like, he knows me so well, because look at these. These are pyjamas and they're so comfy. They're like I love tartan. Love them, absolutely love them. I love the colour, they're plum. And I said to him, I was like, I can't wear them until we put new bed sheets on, because they're just, oh my god, I just love it. It's probably my favourite actually, if I think from the whole basket. I love pyjamas. I love being cosy. Can you see that? Can you see it? Quite long actually. I'm wondering if I could wear that as like a night shirt, like an actual kind of nighty kind of thing, because it's actually very long. I have said to him though, like next year, can we please just do something a bit more low-key? Like can you just get me like a mini boot basket, because I do find like I love it, but I said to him like it's too much. Like I just want little, and you know, he doesn't have to, you know, I did say this to him, but I might do something with him next year as well. But then the thing is with Andy, he has his birthday in autumn, so that's that's kind of my thing for him. So no, maybe you don't. So I'd show you that because it's part of my autumnal cozy vlog. Anyway, the plan is today, it's Sunday today, I forgot to say that, it is Sunday. Today I'm gonna go take a walk in a minute because the sun was out. I don't know if it's still there. But anyway, I'm going to take a nice walk. Might bake something, might not. Definitely want to read more today, so I'm going to read. I might even put my pyjamas on later, I don't know. But like I said, only if we put the new bed covers on. I say new, it's just fresh bed covers, I should say. Do that, and then I'm just going to chill out because I can, and I will. I don't know when I'm going to finish this. I'm hoping at least by the end of next week. And yeah, I'm going to film, and that's it. I'm going to film when I come back. I am planning to film my mini haul that I got from Nottingham, which will be out by the time this video is out, so you'll probably see that before. I don't think I'll finish it today, but at least by the end of next week, which I think I will. So anyway, I'll see you in the next clip. Hello. I thought I would just pop on because I've reached over halfway through Rewitched. I'm at 56% to be exact. I just want to come on really because I got some things to say about it. When I first started, and I think I did mention this in one of my other clips, like the first 2 chapters I was loving it. It was giving all the cozy vibes. I loved it. Now I'm like, it's kind of dragging. And like, I've been quite unwell. I've had a really, really bad cold. And I think that is a lot to do with it. I don't necessarily blame the book. I think it's more me. I just haven't really been feeling up to reading in general. But then when I have, because I've been reading my other book because that's my book for research. I'm rereading Twilight. I don't want to keep bringing Twilight up, but you know, I am rereading it. So I want to reach more for that, which is unusual and not really like me. And I also find myself skimming slightly in parts. I don't know what it is. I don't hate it. I don't particularly love it. It's just fine. I think what it is, as you know, I'm not massive like fantasy girly, and I think that's what I'm struggling with, because it's obviously witchy, it's not in your face though, which I do appreciate, because the main character, the FMC, she's doing, her name's Bao, just have to remember that. I think I mentioned this in another clip, but she's got what they call an Equewitch trial. So she's doing an assessment essentially to like keep her powers. It's a bit of a long story and I can't really go into it, but basically she wants to keep her powers. The coven that she is a part of wants to take these powers away. Well, they don't want to, but like if she's not using them anymore, they might need to do that to like share it out. I don't know. It's a whole thing, and like, I don't want to go into it because it's a bit long-winded, but she wants to keep it. And at this point I'm like, I get it, but like, why don't you just give up? I don't know. That's me. I'm very much a give up. I just don't care for that side of it. Like when she's doing her spell work and Equewitch trial, and she's got this mentor. I can't remember his name. Is it Artorius or something like that? She's got a mentor who's kind of a bit shady, but he's not. That's kind of interesting. Their relationship's definitely interesting, but like, I don't know. I just don't care for the Equewitch trial. I don't care for it, and that's interesting because to me that's a part of the kind of more fantasy, supernaturally kind of side of the book. But when she's just working in the bookshop, I kind of like that. And you know, I don't mind her using her little spells here and there. That doesn't bother me. I'm not that like straight-laced when it comes to fantasy. It's just, I don't know, I just bored. I hate to admit it, I am, and I really want to love this book, and I think that's the problem. I think I went in with too high expectations. The writing, you know, I have to make that very clear, is beautiful. And although I shouldn't compare the two because they are 2 very different books, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe is not written as well as this book I'm reading. And I forgot to mention, actually, I am feeling a lot better today and I do feel more up to reading. My sinuses are a bit more cleared up. I've gone for my morning run. I'm in the mood to read a bit more today. I think I'm just disappointed. I want to like it more. I'm putting the only pressure I'm putting on is myself. Like I said, I don't hate it. I don't. I just find myself like, I don't really want to pick it up. I'm like, And honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, it's given 3-star at the moment. It's 3 to 4-star, and if it's 4-star, it's a very low 4-star. I think honestly it could be on the 4-star just because the writing is honestly beautiful. Like it's almost perfectly wrote, whatever. I can't fault the writing at all, like not even a little bit. It's beautiful, but it's just the story. Actually, I think that's what it is, the story. The characters are fine. The characters are actually quite interesting. It's just the story. For me, it is quite important in a book. I'm one of those people that it's characters and story for me. You know, some people are like, oh, I just prefer the characters. Me, I'm both. So it's quite hard to please me. I need a good story. I need to be interested, or at least interested in the story, which I am to some degree, but it's kind of... I feel like I could put it down and like never touch it again, like I guess a DNF, and I'd be like, I'd be okay with that. But I don't think it's necessarily the book's fault. I think it is me. It's annoying because I really want to like it, and I'm putting this immense pressure on myself for no reason. Like, like I'm the only one doing this. Like I want to like this, force myself to like it. When I say like it, I think I mean love it. So I'm glad I didn't buy the second book, because honestly I don't know if I want to read it now. And it's annoying because I did just buy another kind of cozy witchy book. I think it was Spell Shop. When I went to Nottingham. Maybe just cozy witch fantasies aren't for me, but I think it's more the story. Yeah, this one is more of like a trial kind of quest assessment sort of thing, and I don't really care for that. I don't care for her, no offence, but I don't care for her trying to keep her magical abilities. Does that sound bad? But I just don't really care for it. I don't feel that attached to the character's abilities. I don't know if that makes any sense. Am I making any sense? Probably not, as per usual. Why are you watching me? Sound like a smoker. I don't smoke, but it's because I've had a cold. Anyway, we shall persevere, as I always do. I don't DNF. As you know, it's my
toxic trait.
We're going to keep going. Belle Blackthorn, is that her name? Don't let me down. You must improve. I'm feeling down about it. Why am I down? I just feel like I really wanted to love it, and I didn't. I just like it, and I wanted to love it. Let me love you. Anyway, I shall see you in the next clip, so let's see how it goes. Just reached chapter 24. I think it's is it? Yeah, no, sorry, 25. You guys didn't tell me. You didn't tell me about this freaking infatuation potion. This is obviously going to be a bit of a spoiler. She, as part of her assessment, Belle she's made infatuation potion. Now, who happens to come to her door? And she's home alone. And she's in her Christmas pajamas, which is just so cute because it's laundry day. And guess who turns up? Her love interest. And his name is Rune. Yeah, Rune. Okay, it's a witch's book. Just go with it. I'm literally giggling. Like, I did not expect this. She's kind of nervous because they're kind of like, they both kind of like each other. And she's like, oh shit. She's like, kind of, you know, when you kind of like, and you could like I am now really, when you're in your comfies, got like no makeup on. That's basically how he's found her. She's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, I don't even have my makeup on. I've got my fucking Christmas pajamas on in bloody October. She invites him in. She starts making this drink for him. And because as part of her assessment trial, she's practicing making these potions, and she's made an infatuation potion. Now, what does she accidentally put in his coffee? The infatuation potion, because it looks like milk. It's like white and creamy, and yeah, you get the idea. And then she realizes, and she's like, oh shit. And then she says to Rune, she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but I've accidentally put that into your drink. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, why have you done that? She's like, well, it was a mistake. Like, I'm sorry, it was a mistake, genuine mistake. He's like, you shouldn't just leave that lying around. And she's like, well, I wasn't expecting visitors, and like, I just kind of wasn't thinking, and you know, it looked like milk, so I just quickly put it in, and then realised, guess what? They started making out, like heavily. I'm talking heavily, hot and heavy. I actually thought we were going to get a spicy scene. We didn't, but I thought it was going there. And at first I was like, no, I don't like this. It seems a little bit R-word, if you know what I mean. I just thought, no, don't like where this is going, because it seems a bit non-consensual. And she was kissing him back, obviously, and, you know, she hasn't taken it, it's just him. Turns out that the potion was actually a dud, because the milk had, no, not the milk, one of the ingredients, I think it was the vanilla, had expired or something, because just at that moment, her mentor, I can't pronounce his name, I think it's Artorius or something, called him, like, oh, by the way, that potion, yeah, it's fine, like the grimoire said it's fine, but it's actually a dud, like it won't work. So he was lying about that potion. Rude. As soon as I found that, I did not expect that. I was like, I thought this was just going to be one of those things. I was like, oh, sorry, clumsy little old me. And it's actually Rune, he playing. That's actually so funny. It kind of reminds me of like, when I was at school, when I was in secondary school, we used to drink a lot. And that sounds really bad, but I mean, like, I used to, you know, go out drinking. I don't drink anymore, by the way. I don't drink alcohol at all. Don't touch the stuff, hate it. But when I was younger, I thought it was really cool. And like when I was a teenager, and we used to go out drinking. You know, there's always that person who would act drunker than they really were. It reminds me of that. You know, like you'd say to them, like they had one WKD. Oh my God, I'm showing my age. But they had like one Alcopop or one kind of like small, and they'd be like acting all drunk. It reminds me of that. That is honestly, I did not expect that. And in one of my other videos, I have mentioned this before, but when I bought this book, I bought it from Waterstones, by the way, the woman who served me, the cashier, she said, oh, like she made a bit of a comment about this book. Like, did you like this book then? And she's like, I did. She's like, but something happens at the end. She said, and just you wait. She said it will be like, so it was kind of quite slow, and then like something happens almost at the end and you're like, oh. And I'm wondering if that's what she's on about, because we're nearly, not quite, but we're nearly, like I said, chapter 25. How many chapters are there? Chapter 33. So we're nearly at the end. I'm wondering if this is what she was on about, because I did not expect that. Yeah, and it made me giggle. That Rune, he's a sly dog. Wow, that got me. It got me. Yeah, I'm gonna carry on reading for a bit, and then I might watch some Gilmore Girls later. It's really nice out there today. So again, talking about the weather, I'm British, that's what we do.
We talk about the weather.
I shall carry on, and I shall update you if there's anything else. Finished. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I really loved the ending of this, and that's the funny part. I love the beginning of this, like I love the first few chapters, and I loved the last few chapters. The middle, not so much. I don't know if you can see that with the lighting. I do apologise, by the way, for this lighting, but I thought I would quickly record it now while it's still fresh in my mind, because I've only just kind of finished it about an hour or so ago. But yeah, anyway, these tabs, I don't know if you can see in the light, but that's all the time like autumnal themes were mentioned, so it's quite a few. Not as much as the other one. You know how like in the last clip I was like giggling, kicking my feet? Well, in the next chapter, I was crying. I was actually crying, or a couple of chapters after, rather. I was crying. Yeah, there was a scene where she, as part of like her kind of assessment trial, I think she does like a spell thing. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, as part of this thing she does, she goes back and visits her 16-year-old self. And obviously she's 30 now. And yeah, it was just really emotional. I often think myself about this in my life, and it's weird because only very recently I was saying to Andy like how I've been thinking about how when I was younger a lot more, and like what I would have done differently and how I would have, you know, acted and all that stuff. And I'm not too harsh on myself, like I understand. Anyway, that's a whole other deep thing I'm not going to go into on here because I feel like that's very much therapy talk. But yeah, I just related to it. It resonated with me. And then there was also a part where she went and, well, I say she went, her nan, she reconnected with her late nan. And that was quite emotional. My nan died a couple of years back now, and so, you know, I was quite close to my nan. There was a lot of things like that, and it just got to me. I will say though, the twist, and I'm not gonna say the twist. I've said this before on my channel, like I say that my videos usually contains spoilers. I just put it in there because I sometimes find that I can't review a book properly without spoiling it. But anyway, I'm not going to spoil it because this is, as of filming this is still a relatively new book, I think. I don't know if it is. I don't want to actually, because it kind of will. It was a real twist. I'm not going to lie, I didn't see it come in at all. Like, it did kind of blow my mind. But I also kind of didn't like it. I don't know, like, I can't say too much other than, like, really? Yeah, it was a little bit, I don't know what the word is, a bit extreme, maybe. The twist was, okay. But I have to admit, I didn't see it come in. But then I suppose when it is so outrageous, maybe you wouldn't. So, but a lot of people seem to criticise the start of the book and say it was very slow. I didn't really find that. You know, I don't mind a book necessarily being slow in the beginning, especially these type of books like, you know, fantasy, even though if it is, you know, so-called cozy fantasy. But yes, overall, I did really like this. Would I recommend that you read this? Yeah, I think you could. Like I said, even if you're not a big fantasy reader like myself, I think you will get something from this. Oh, that was it, before I forget. So there was this is kind of hard to explain. She works in a bookshop, and I think I mentioned this in one of my other clips, called Luna Books, and her boss is like an elderly, well, not that elderly, but she's an older woman called, sorry, I got a bit of hair, hang on, sorry, that was really gross. She's got a boss called Violet, and her boss or something goes away. I'm not quite sure why. I think she goes on holiday or something. I don't really know, but she leaves the shop in, why is this so hard to explain? She leaves the shop for her son Christopher to run. Now, Christopher, I think, is like in middle age, not quite sure how old he is, but he's very kind of, I don't know what the word is, kind of conservative, I suppose, but what's the word? Why am I struggling to bloody say this? Christopher is he's a bit of a dickhead, basically, and he thinks he runs the whole shop, and he's the corporate, that's it, very, very corporate. Bookshop's just meant to be this cozy little place, and he's trying to make it into this like kind of corporate headspace, kind of like, oh, this is where we go to learn for business, and like, I don't know, he's just being a bit of a dickhead, and he's trying to replace all the titles of like CEOs books and like entrepreneurs and like all that kind of stuff. He's the sort of person that would support Elon Musk, you know, like, fuck off. I get what the author was trying to do with this character, but I just felt he was a bit of a caricature. Like, yeah, okay, we get it, he's a toxic guy, like, we get it. Like, it just felt very kind of in your face about it. Some of the ways he was talking to Bal and the employees, I'm not saying that this doesn't happen, but I don't know, it just felt very villainy, like very too like I just feel like in a realistic setting, especially if you work in a bookshop, I'm not saying that this doesn't happen. I know there are horrible bosses out there, but I just think you would not speak to your employee like that. Like, he was literally calling them like names, and I'm like, you just wouldn't do that, because you'd be done for like, I don't know what the word is, like employee harassment or something, or bullying. I think this is set in the 90s, so maybe they didn't have that kind of thing then. I don't know, but I just found it a little bit unbelievable at times, like a bit too, like I said, a bit too cartoonish. That was my only problem with it. And then what I found more harder to understand is, so his mum, who did own the store, owns the store, I don't really get that whole thing, Violet I think her name was, her and Bao had a really good relationship. Like, she thought the world of Bao, just got on really well, and she kind of saw her as kind of like a surrogate daughter, I suppose. That's what it was heavily implying towards. Now, spoiler alert, I have to say this to sort of give you context here and why I feel this way. She ends up giving the shop to Bao and basically says to Christopher, yeah, fuck off, I don't want you to have it now, because her and Bal and Christopher have this great big argument. She essentially tells him to stuff it. So anyway, she ends up getting the shop. I don't know, like, again, I didn't feel like this was very realistic. And then she's like, oh, and I've just cut him off, I'm not talking to him ever again, like, blah. I'm thinking, okay, I get it, your son's a prick, like, totally get that, respect your decision. We never really understood why Christopher was like he was, because as far as I could tell, I mean, obviously, really, like, his mum was doting and loving, but he was just like he acted like a spoiled, narcissistic man, you know, and that's putting it lightly. And there was no explanation for that. You know, maybe the dad wasn't around, maybe that was a thing, or at least they weren't in the book. I don't know, it just seemed a bit odd, and I just feel like a mum wouldn't do that. Now, it's not to say mothers shouldn't do that or don't do that. I know people do that. I know people are estranged from family members, believe me, I know that. It's just, I don't know, I found that very odd. Like, something wasn't right about that relationship. I just felt like something that didn't feel right. It just felt a bit rushed, and like, what, she just like that because he was a bit horrible, and he was really horrible to Bal, by the way, but because he was horrible to Bal and a few of his employees, like, right, I'll disown you then forever and ever, bye. Even though up to this point he'd always been a dickhead. Like, I don't get what the final straw was for her. I agree with her actions, I just didn't feel like it was realistic. I don't know, maybe it's me, it probably is, but I just, yeah, there's something about that, I just thought, no, this doesn't feel like something that would happen in real life. I feel like unfortunately in real life, I feel like the Violet woman, the boss woman, would have sided with her son, or maybe not agreed with what he said and done, but would never have given that shop to like an employee, even if she's known her better and had a better relationship with her. I feel like they wouldn't. I think it's because myself, I've seen that too many times, and you know, they may not agree with them, but it's like, well, you are my son. It's kind of that thing, isn't it? It's like, well, you are my son, you are my blood, I guess I have to. They feel obliged towards them, and I just felt like that was very convenient for the plot, but there we go. Maybe it was hinting that, you know, Bal had these kind of like magics to like persuade her to do that. I don't know, but if she did, that's kind of shady. Am I going to read the second one? You know what? Yes, I am. And I did my research, and apparently it is autumn themed, but like, the reason I wasn't convinced it was autumn themed, because the newer cover that they've got out is like kind of spring. It's giving more spring summer vibes, because it's like pastels and pinks and blues and like, but apparently it is autumn themed. And I read some of the first chapter, because they have some of the first chapter in this, and I quite liked it. So I'm going to give it a go. See how I feel. Hopefully it is a bit autumn themed, and we'll see how we get on. It's me coming to update you guys, looking as usual like a hot mess. I'm 15% the way through Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood. What do I think of it so far? Oh, and by the way, I just thought I'd mention, as you can see, I'm reading on my Kindle. I didn't really want to read it on my Kindle. I actually wanted it physically, because I did want to tab when like there was autumny themes mentioned. I don't know, I guess I'm having a competition now of like, what's the most autumn themed book? As I'm filming this, it's October. The book only came out in September last month, so it's still in hardback, and I don't really like hardback, so I'm not a hardback girl. I don't like hardback books, so I won't be buying it. And even if I wanted to, it would take a few days, because I'd have to go into town. They might sell it actually in my local supermarket, but basically I can't be bothered, and it's cheaper this way anyway, so whatever. I just thought I'd tell you about that. But anyway, what do I think about it? 15% of the way through. I'm going to be honest with you guys, as you know, I always keep it real here. quite literally, I mean, look at me. With Rewitched, the first few chapters I quite liked. This one I'm like, this is obviously going to contain spoilers, but like I said, I am quite early on, so there's not really a lot happening just yet. This is set in the author has said that this is set before the events of Rewitched, so just bear that in mind. We have a FMC called Annie. She's the witch, and she owns a bakery called Celeste, and Annie's very much a perfectionist. You know, everything's got to be perfect, everything's got to be just so, very, you know, very much like that. That's it really so far. She has a cat called Karma, which, you know, is the cat, I don't know if you can, you're probably not gonna be able to see this, but can you see that? And it's in black and white, but it's a white little fluffy cat. It looks like maybe a Persian. But yeah, she's called Karma, which I'm like, that's such a stupid fucking name. Like, why would you call your cat Karma? Do you hate your cat? It sounds like a cute cat, to be fair, but I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry if your cat's called Karma, but that's just a dumb name. That's like literally calling it bad luck. Like, why would you call your cat bad luck? But anyway, she's 32 years old, by the way, not the cat. That would be impressive. The Annie, the FMC, which I quite like. I'm liking this theme of this author making her characters over the age of 30. I think that's brilliant, especially as someone who's going to be coming into their 30s very soon, which... yeah, we like to see it. The reputation, the representation. We like to see it. I haven't even told you what I think about this yet. Sorry, I'm babbling on. Is it giving autumn vibes? Actually, yes, it is. It is giving autumn. There's a lot of autumn descriptions. I'm loving that. I'm loving the descriptions of food with the bakery. Beautiful, beautiful descriptions of food. Don't read this when you're hungry. We have beautiful descriptions of bread making, of pastries, of cake. Yeah, I love all that. Again, the characters, I feel like I can't really relate to Annie. Here's the thing with me, some people who know me would say I am a perfectionist, and some people would also say I'm really not. I myself think that I can be, like anyone can be a perfectionist about certain things, but generally, and I'm talking very generally here, I tend not to be. I don't think I would call myself a perfectionist. In fact, I'm probably somewhat of the opposite. So I think I'm finding it hard to relate to her because she wants everything just so, and she's so perfect, and like, you know, she uses spells and stuff to help her with it, which I think is kind of cheap. So I'm like, well, no wonder you're perfect. I think any one of us would be if we could have spells to help us. It kind of pissed me off a little bit because she was... I don't quite get this thing, but she was going to her coven. It's so different from the first one because she obviously comes from like a middle class kind of upbringing, but she's hanging around with very like high society friends, and her coven seem very high society, and I think that she even comments on this herself, the FMC, and I'm just like, okay, but they're like quite horrible to her, like her friends, and I say it like that because I'm like, and she uses a spell so that she doesn't basically get angry and lash out at them. But I'm like, no, sorry, that's kind of disrespectful, actually. Like, her dad, so this FMC, her dad he gambled her and her mum's magic. So she doesn't really have a relationship with her parents anymore because basically they weren't great to her, and her dad did this whole thing. And yeah, I don't really want to get into that because it's kind of like a long-winded story, but basically they kind of left her and were just like, yeah, I mean, her dad was mainly the prick in this, but yeah, anyway, and they're kind of being really horrible about that. And I'm thinking, okay, I get it, like her dad obviously did something really bad, like he shouldn't have done it, and it affected the whole coven, like, yeah, totally get that, but like, you shouldn't like make her pay for this. Like, she's essentially innocent in all of this, and they're like, yeah, okay, it's her dad, but she basically had nothing to do with that. Like, she's not responsible for her dad's behaviour. No, you don't need to bully her, you don't need to make her feel bad about that. And they're just sat there like being really horrible about her, and like in front of her, by the way. It's like, and she's just like, yeah, you got a point. And she's like, I don't think so, okay. And I'm just like, what? Like, girl, get a backbone. I don't know, there must be, maybe it's to do with her, like, she gives me a vibe of someone who just doesn't want to upset everyone, and that's fine. I get that. We've all been that person from time to time. Some of us still are like that. I totally get that, but I think that's why I find it hard to relate to her, because if it was me, I'd be like, no. I get the impression she's doing it because she needs to fit in, because she did make a comment somewhere, I can't remember exactly where it was now, but she said something along the lines of, I have to like stay here for the protection, because I think they offer her like some sort of protection, or like they're offering her basically, I guess the equivalent would be if you're homeless and, you know, your only choice to survive basically is to stay with a family who you don't agree with their views, but hey, they're providing you food and shelter. I don't know, that's kind of the equivalent, I guess, is why she's staying with them, or why she wants to be in this coven. So maybe that's the story. Maybe it's kind of the point on there is lost on me, and I've just realised it as I'm talking this out to you. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of annoying me, but I get it if that's the reason. Like I said, finding Annie a little bit hard to relate to. So the whole perfectionist thing, I've never really been like that, so yeah. Not saying, like I said, not saying that I haven't been like that from time to time, but generally that's not my personality, so I'm finding that hard to relate to. Like I said, it's not bad, and the writing is brilliant. I think this author is a fantastic writer, by the way. Like, oh my goodness, I said this in the last book and I still stand by that. But yeah, I'm worried it's the story thing again, which I wouldn't really say is necessarily the author's fault. I feel like it's me because I'm not a big fantasy person, so it's probably me. But yeah, like I said, if I have any other updates, I shall update you. But I just wanted to get that out there because this is my first initial thought. So I'm hoping obviously it will change and it gets better, or hopefully not worse. I know normally in these books they do have a playlist, don't they? But I think that's at the end, and I don't want to like mess up. I know there's a way I could do it on my Kindle, but I don't want to mess it up. We'll just do it at the end, it's fine, and we'll have a little laugh about how many Taylor Swift songs are on there. Let's predict. I'll probably forget this, by the way. I predict about 5. No, actually, she didn't have as many in the last one. Let's say about 3 and 1 Lana Del Rey song. Yeah, or maybe there's more. If there's more, then I'm going to put an extra star on this. I'm kidding. I am kidding. It's about the book, not the pop stars. We shall see. Hopefully it will improve and I will love this. I will give it a lot of love. So I thought I'd come in and update you today. It is Friday the 10th of October. I don't know why I'm giving you the date as well. Sorry again, I feel like I always come on and say sorry about my setup. I don't have my ring light because I can't be bothered, because I'm doing a vlog, and vlogging is all about the realness. So I've now reached just over halfway through, so I feel like I can come in and update you a little bit more. Last time I was moaning about,
I don't know if I like this, guys.
how do I feel now after reaching halfway through? Kind of still the same way, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last clip, but we have now met and are with, so part of the story is that Annie, the FMC, has now, she's kind of got a protege, is that how you pronounce it? And her protege is a 15-year-old girl called Maeve, who's just coming into her powers. Now, Maeve is orphaned. Her parents, I can't remember what happened to her parents. Did one of them die and then, or she doesn't know her parents. I think her dad left and she doesn't know anything about her dad. And I think her mum, I can't remember, I think her mum left her, but she's not sure why. Anyway, basically she doesn't have parents. So she's 15, been left alone. And Annie's been called by the Coven to basically take her under her wing and like help her to harness her powers and like use it and all this stuff. So that's where we've gone from there. Maeve is kind of the opposite of Annie in terms of she's quite laid back, she's quite chill. She's the opposite of Annie. So we have a bit of found family in there. They've gone to a different house to do this. They're in like a cottage at the moment. And this cottage actually belongs to this warlock called Hal. So she's now met, there's another guy in the mix. So it's almost a bit of a found family. So we've got almost like a dad character, the teenage girl and the mum. It's almost like, you know, you can tell this is definitely going to be like a found family thing. Already getting those vibes. What do I feel about it? It's just fine. It's just okay. And I hate just saying that. I'm not saying why I think it's okay. I'm just going, it's okay, it's fine. I think what it is, like I said, I don't find any of these characters relatable. I also find the character of 15-year-old Maeve a little bit unbelievable. Here is someone who clearly has a lot of trauma in her life. Finding out she's a witch on top of that and that she could do magic and spells, yeah, that's kind of cool. And I like the way she's acting as if like, oh wow, cool. But like, there's little to no talk, at least at the moment, like her trauma when it comes to her family. Now, I'm nearly 30 years old, right? And I have a lot of trauma. Who doesn't at this point? I am more affected with it now than I was at probably her age. Does that make sense? I don't know. I feel like she would be lashing out a little bit more than she is. I mean, she's described as a bit sarcastic and a bit weird and a bit like, you know, all these things, like a typical teenager, I suppose. But I just feel like she's lacking depth. I think I'm taking this book way too seriously. I think that maybe that's my problem. I don't know. But because I know these books aren't meant to be like that. And I'm just like going in like, where's the depth? Chill out. It's not meant to be like that. It's just meant to be a low stakes thing. Totally get that. But I think I'm just used to stories where the characters just have a little bit more going for them. Not going for them, that sounds a bit horrible, but like a bit more, I don't know what I'm trying to say, you know, a bit more depth basically. And at least like she has actually, funny enough, I literally just had a chapter where they did kind of talk about their family and their parents and how they both feel, because they're both essentially estranged or don't have parents, so or have a family as such, right? So they have kind of confined each other and they're kind of bonding over that. So there has been a bit of a mention of it, but again, I feel like it was very kind of surface level, skipped over almost. Like I feel like, I don't know, especially as her being 15 years old, I feel like that's quite a change, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to be, because she was when Annie came to pick her up, she was in a foster home. That's traumatic in itself. And now she's been swept away and told she's a witch. I don't know, like she's taken it way too chill. And also like, I know they did make a comment of this on the book, but Annie's very like, the character of Maeve says quite intelligent things for a 15-year-old, and not just intelligent as in academic, I'm talking emotional intelligence. Her emotional intelligence is really good, and it's better than the adults in the book, to the point where the Annie character actually says to her, wow, you've got quite a high emotional intelligence. Again, for someone who's been through that, I just don't know if you would necessarily at 15 years old have the skill set to be able to say the things that she's saying. I don't know, like, I know it's not impossible, it's just highly unlikely. Maybe this is going to be explained later, I don't know. Like I said, it's probably me, like, deep in it too much, and it's not meant to be taken that way, and that's fine. The story itself is okay. It's okay. I think so far though, I did enjoy the other story better. The cozy vibes are definitely there, like, there's no denying that, you know, the baking and all the kind of descriptions are beautiful. Again, I've said this throughout the books and I will keep saying it, the writing, top tier, love the writing. I've no issues with the writing. And I am thinking, okay, this is my first, as far as I'm aware, this is the first time I've ever read cozy fantasy. So I'm wondering if maybe it's just not the genre for me, because I do like cozy reads. But I tried it, at least I can say. But I'm not going to give up on cozy fantasy because I've only read from this author. So like I said, it could just be that it's this author. I don't know. It could just be these type of stories. It's annoying because I kind of really want to like cozy fantasy because it's so popular at the moment, and I feel like I should like it. But I don't know. I think it's the story. I'm just not interested in the story. I just don't really care for her magic. I just find the characters a little bit unbelievable. I get Annie, but like I said on my other clips, I just don't really relate to her all that well, so I'm finding her hard to relate to. But it's also quite refreshing because characters that I don't relate to at all, like I can still, it's quite fascinating, isn't it? Because you can still get an insight into that perspective, so it does help you sympathise with her more. There's just something that's not, it's just okay, it's just fine. If you love cozy fantasy, if you love witchy stuff, if you love found family, and you love that kind, and I mean you really, really love it, you probably will really, really love this book. But like, I like found family, that's a trope that I like, but I just don't, I'm not really believing this relationship, and I don't know why, and I don't know if it's because it's lacking depth. I think what I'm going to do, after I've read this book, I'm going to look on Goodreads, because people articulate things better than I ever can, as you guys know. So I think I'm going to see what, I'm going to try and like read those out to you to like support my argument, because I know there's someone out there that can articulate this better than I can. Who knows, maybe I'll get, because the last book did give me quite an emotional reaction at the end, so maybe I'll get this in this book. Usually if a book is able to make me cry, which the Rewitched did at the end, because there was something that really resonated with me, like it hit me here. Here's the thing, I was a bit PMSy, so like, could it just be my hormones? Maybe. I wonder if it will have the same reaction. Normally I would give something like that like 4 or 5 stars, because I love a book that can give me an emotional reaction, but it was only a slight bit, so it has to keep giving me emotional reactions throughout. I think I can't just give a book 5 stars just because it gave me somewhat of an emotional reaction, a little tiny paragraph. I don't know. That's just how I rate and review. You might not agree, you might disagree, whatever. I am thinking my next book, I've got an idea in mind. I'll tell you about it nearer the time, because I'm not 100% sure yet if I am going to read it. I'm going to check how big it is, because I need to get back to my normal reading list now, because at the moment I've only done autumn themed kind of books, and it's great and I'm loving it, but I don't know, I would like to get back to kind of my normal reading list, if that makes sense. So we'll see. I'm going to probably give one more book a shot, and then that might be it, but I will, of course, as always, update you guys. Hi guys, I'm just going to very quickly come on and update you. I haven't got very long, so I'm going to try and rush through this. I do apologise, but I need to update you while it's still fresh in my mind, because I have just finished Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood. It'll probably come as no surprise to you, but I did end up giving this a 3-star. That for me is just okay, and I know I don't want to keep saying it's okay, but yeah, unfortunately it didn't really change for me. I still felt the same way. It was just fine. Now I did go on Goodreads, like I promised you earlier in the clip, just to check what other people were saying, because a lot of people are much more articulate than I am, and the people that gave the ratings 3 stars, same as me, were saying very much how I felt, so that, you know, it ticked all the boxes in terms of, you know, it's charming, it's cozy, it's whimsical, it's got a lot of warmth to it. However, you know, some of the characters were lacking slightly in sort of emotional depth and all that kind of stuff. I did like the characters, I just didn't really relate to them in the way I kind of wanted to. I just didn't feel any kind of connection there. And like I said in my previous clips, if you are someone who's very much a perfectionist like the FMC is, you may relate to this more. But for me personally, just didn't really get much of it. I would have also loved to see the love interest, Hal and Annie, fleshed out a little bit more, because I felt like, was it fleshed out? I never know how to say that, whatever, you know what I mean. I would like to see their relationship build a little bit more, because it did feel slightly rushed. I love the descriptions of baking and bakery. It's very much a story about self-discovery and self-acceptance. importance, which, you know, I did quite like, I did appreciate, but yeah, it was just fine. I wanted to love it more than I did, but I just didn't, unfortunately. So as I said in the previous clip, this book is set before the events of the first book. And they do have characters who were from the first book in there. So I think I can't remember, I think it's Bronwyn and Morena. So they make an appearance in this book. So that was quite fun. I did enjoy seeing them again. Yeah, it's really just one of those books I don't really have a lot to say because it was just okay. The writing, again, like I said, I'm not going to keep boring you, but the writing was good. I think it's just one of those things, it just wasn't for me. I'm not going to give up on cozy fantasy just yet though. I am going to still keep going. Well, I say not now, I'm going to give up for now, but I'm not giving up completely on the genre because I've only ever tried this author, but obviously I'll give it another shot and then maybe I just have to accept it probably isn't for me. Now the next book I'm going to read, can't remember what it's called, I do apologise, but I'll have it up here. When I was looking at books to read, like autumnal type books, I saw this one and I remember, I kind of regret it now because I saw it in the works at the time and I didn't buy it because I wasn't sure I was, you know, I just one of those books I wasn't sure I was going to like it, but this one kept coming up when I was trying to look at like things I might like. So I think, if I've done my research correctly, it's Friends to Lovers, which I do prefer, and I think if I've done my research properly, it's set in the 90s, which I quite like, and I think if I've done my research correctly, it's cozy, it's autumnal, it's kind of like Gilmore Girls inspired, so maybe something similar to like Dream Harbour series. But yeah, I'm going to see how that goes, and we're going to update, well, I am going to update you as and when I feel anything to update you about. I'm currently baking cinnamon buns for the first time. It is a TikTok recipe, so fingers crossed it will go okay. So I've got that going, it's going to be ready literally in a few minutes. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. It's a lazy Sunday. I don't know if I mentioned it was Sunday, but it's Sunday today, and having a kind of lazy Sunday. Hopefully they come out okay. I'm quite excited, I've never made it before. It looks okay, but you never know, do you? And our oven's really shit, so fuck knows what it's going to come out like. I thought I'd just quickly come on because I realised in my other clip I didn't mention that I said I was gonna sort of judge the judge the playlist, because you know they have like a Spotify playlist at the beginning of the book. Well, at least in the version I have, because obviously I just finished Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood, I couldn't find the playlist on there on my Kindle. I don't know if it's in the physical version, but I didn't see it on mine, so I don't know. It might be that it's only on the physical. I've not really heard of that before, so yeah, that's why I didn't judge it, or that's why we didn't go over it, because I couldn't find it, unless the author just didn't decide to include it in the second one for whatever reason. I'm just hit the second chapter of If It Makes You Happy by Olivia. Sorry, I keep wanting to say Julie Oliver, but it's Julie Olivia, I don't know why. So far I'm quite liking it, but this one has a playlist, so it's very, because this is set in 1997 in autumn, so it's very 90s themed. I think what it is though, I might need to reread the first chapter, because it's kind of my own fault, I wasn't really reading it properly. You know, you kind of like, I don't know, I was thinking of things and so I might need to go back and reread the first chapter. Okay, so this is the playlist, and it has One Headlight by the Wallflowers. Don't really know that one. Again, it's one of those ones I probably do know, I just don't know the name of the song or the name of the artist. Then it has There She Goes by Sixpence None the Richer, don't know that one. Oh, maybe I do, I'm not sure. No Rain by Blind Melon, nope. Dreams by the Cranberries, I swear that was in the other ones. I think that one has been in, or one of the Cranberries songs has definitely been in all of them. Real World by Matchbox 20, don't know that one. Say You'll Be There by Spice Girls, I don't know if I know that one. I feel bad saying that, but I don't think I know that one, because Spice Girls like really popular, or were really popular. Black by Pearl Jam, don't know that one. I Want You by Savage Garden, nope. I Put a Spell on You by Nina Simone, I do know that one. Sex and Candy by Marcy Playground, don't know that one. Love Fall by the Cardigans, yes. I feel like everyone knows that one. Linger by the Cranberries, yes, quite like that one. You Gotta Be by Desiree, I don't know that one. Come As You Are by Nirvana, yes, of course, like that one. You Were Meant For Me by Jewel, I don't think I know that one. Save Tonight by Eagle Eye Cherry, nope. Head Over Feet by Alanis Morissette, nope. Uptown Girl by Billy Joel, know that one. And If It Makes You Happy by Sheryl Crow, so yes, I know that one too. That is actually not a bad playlist. No Taylor Swift, but then I suppose it wouldn't be if it was set in 1997. So I like that. I will say that the chapter that I did just read there was quite long. but I am going to reread it because I wasn't really reading it properly, so I will reread that and then I will let you guys know how I feel about it. Oh, and I don't know if I did mention this, I really need to start rewatching my last clips before I come on. But I don't know what I said in the last clip. What did I say in the last clip? But the cinnamon buns, for my first ever attempt, they weren't too bad, and my in-laws tried some as well. They just been popped around about an hour or so ago, well, about 2 hours ago now, and they said it was quite nice. So if I do say so myself, they weren't too bad. This is a little bit off topic, but I was really pissed off earlier because I was doing a bit of editing on my phone of my YouTube videos because I've got a video out tomorrow, and it's a really long story, but basically the app I use to edit my videos decided that actually it didn't want to do this video anymore. Basically, it said my storage was too full, even though I know it's not. It's a really long story. I'm not going to bore you. It's fine. I managed to kind of save it in a way. But just to warn you, I might have to do a part 2 to this because I don't know how this is going to react. I don't know what my video is going to do, if that makes sense. I might have to do a part 2 to this video. Hopefully I won't. Just in case I have warned you. I'm really hoping that's not the case because I didn't plan it like that. I don't want to have to do a part 2 if I can help it. I want to get it all in one video. It's the app that I'm using. It's not a great app, but it's free, so I have to use it because I'm not paying a monthly thing. I can't afford that. So I just thought I'd warn you. If I suddenly have to do a part 2, that's why. I'm hoping I won't. That's enough of that. But yeah, I'm gonna update you as I go along and see how we get along. So let's have a little read tonight and then I shall update you. Good morning. It is Monday morning. I am about to start work. I'm working from home today, but I am about to start work in a little bit. So I have a couple of minutes to talk to you because I just reached about 18, or rather this morning before work, I reached about 18% of the way through If It Makes You Happy. First initial thoughts and feelings I thought I would discuss with you. So far I'm really liking it. It's really cute, and we have an FMC called Michelle, and she is just moved back. She's moved back into the town called Copper Run, which sorry about my tea, by the way. Should I move it? Actually, it's a bit rude. It's a bit rude, isn't it? So she's just moved back to her small town where her parents live rather, because her mum has recently died. And so her dad has, I think, moved back in with her sister who doesn't live in Copper Run. So basically, she's the only one that's come back because they owned this breakfast B&B. So yeah, she's come back to kind of help run that while the family kind of try and get over this. Well, not get over it, but you know what I mean, like try and recoup a little bit. So she's kind of helping out her dad and things, and she's got a sister who was, I don't know if she is younger. She's got a younger sister called Sarah, who I believe was meant to run it, but for whatever reason didn't, because I think she wanted to go back to uni or something, or do like studying or something. I'm not quite sure. She wants to go back and study. Michelle was like, okay, well, I'll run the inn. Like, how hard can it be? Because she lived in the city previously. This says the city. I don't know. I want to say it's New York, but I don't think it is. It might be New York. And she's just recently got divorced from her husband. So yeah, she's going through it, Michelle. She's going through it, and she's come back and she's like, okay, well, let's just do this. You know, let's just run this inn. Let's see how it goes. So she's trying to do that. Now, next door to the inn, she has found a neighbour, which is obviously the love interest. His name is Cliff, and he has 2 young daughters. One is about, I believe, about 6. I could be wrong. And the other's about 14, I think. She's a teenager anyway. I'm not quite sure the age. So he has 2 daughters, and he's also I don't know if he's actually officially divorced, but he's definitely separated from his wife, and his wife is also from the city. Again, don't know what city it is. I think I want to say New York. I don't know why. That's what's happening so far. That's the story so far. She has met with Cliff. There's obviously something going on there. I mean, it's obvious he's going to become the love interest, and it goes through the POV of him and her. Like I said before, it is set in the 90s. I mean, obviously I was born in 1996. Well, I say obviously, like, you know, but I was born in 1996, so this is set in 1997, so I would have been about 1. I don't really obviously know the 90s that well because I was a baby when it was all about, but I've heard and seen enough about it, and it does seem right. And I don't know if this is just me. I mean, if you have more experience with the 90s, let me know. But it does seem to me that the 90s does seem or feel more autumnal. I don't know what it is. Like, if I could put a time period with seasons, I feel like the 90s would be autumn. I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe it's because like the whimsy goth kind of thing come off then, the whimsy goth style, the goth kind of grunge took off then. Maybe that's why, and like I associate that with autumn. I don't know. I'm just weird. That's the story so far. It's really cute. It's really cozy. It's definitely autumnal, and I hate to keep saying it's autumnal, but it is. It's very, very autumnal. The characters are very good, actually. They're very already, I feel quite connected to them. And again, I don't know if that's because I can relate to them. Like, I can't really relate to obviously the dad, the single dad, and he runs the bakery, I forgot to say. So he's next door and he runs the bakery, I forgot to say that. And he lives with his sister. So yeah, and his sister's a bit chaotic as well and things. But Michelle was quite different in that she's quite reserved, you know, being the eldest daughter. I do relate to her a lot, you know. She's, you know, people come up to her. Now, my mum died when I was 18, and so I do relate to her a lot. And, you know, people coming up to her and like, oh, your mum, and you're not really knowing who they are, and they start telling you stuff about your mum, and they almost expect you to be a bit like your mum. Whereas, you know, my mum was also quite same as Michelle's mum, quite social, quite, I don't know, quite carefree, or not carefree. My mum wasn't necessarily carefree, but she was quite laid back, and I don't know, she's just quite different to who I am in some ways. In other ways she's not, but in some ways we are quite different. My mum was definitely more sociable than I am and all that kind of stuff, and very well liked in the community, you know. And I do relate to that feeling of like, I'm not really like my mum. I'm quite reserved, I'm quite introverted, you know. I tend to keep myself to myself, you know, all that kind of thing. And I do relate to that sort of side of it, so that's quite nice. And maybe that's why I'm liking it. And I do like Cliff. I think Cliff's a good character so far. He's giving golden retriever vibes, which I like. So maybe that's my problem. Maybe I do need to connect with the characters more than I realise. Or if I don't connect with them, at the very least I need to have fun with them. Like I feel a bit hypocritical saying like, oh, I only like characters I connect or relate to, because I have read from unreliable narrators before and still love the book. Or I've still read from the POVs of like serial killers. I mean, it's fictional, yeah, and all that, and I've still enjoyed it. So I've got to at least have fun, even if I can't relate to them. But like I said with the previous book, I don't want to compare the two because they are kind of two completely different books, but I think that's what was lacking, is, as you know, as I said, I want to try and get this wrapped up by the end of the week. That's my plan, because I do want to finish this video now and send it out for the following Monday. So it's Monday today, it'll go up, because I try and post videos every Monday. I'm hoping it'll go up Monday. Got a bit of a busy week planned, especially at the weekend, so I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to read realistically. I think I'm going to like this. I got a good feeling about this book. I'm already feeling myself going, oh, like when I'm reading it, so that's a good sign. And they do have a dog, a border collie called, I say they, this is the FMC's dog, called Rocket. I have a bit of a problem with this. Not the name this time, the name's fine. So she lived in the city, and I can't remember, I want to say it's New York, but I don't actually know if it was New York, but let's just say New York. She lived in the city basically, and she obviously lived with her husband Alan. You know, they're getting divorced now, but it was their dog, right? Now they don't have any kids and they have no other pets, but as far as I'm aware, and again I could be wrong, he had a really good job. I think he was like a surgeon, actually. I don't know what she did. Oh, she was in like advertising or something. As far as I'm aware, they both work full time. Now, a border collie dog, and then this dog used to live with them, and I'm like, I don't think that's a good dog to have for somebody, you know, for a couple that both works full time. Border collies, like, they need so much exercise. Like, the average dog, double that. Like, they're insane. And I just think, oh, I don't like that. Like, the fact that you probably had him in a flat. And also he seems rather kind of chill for a border collie. I don't know, guys, if you have a border collie and you think I'm talking out my ass, then let me know. But yeah, she's taken the dog with them because it's their dog, but she's taken the dog. She's like, oh, I don't think it's fair that Alan has him because he won't really be able to look after him having his job. And I'm like, well, what did you do then? And she's kind of a bit like about taking the dog, so I don't think she really wants to. She sort of sees it more as Alan's dog. I could have got it, maybe I misread somewhere, maybe they did explain it, but as far as I'm aware, that's what's happened. I'm glad that she has taken the dog with her though. That I feel that was a good decision, although she seems somewhat, yeah, reluctant, I suppose. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I have a bit of a problem with the border collie. Not the border collie, the collie's fine. I just have a problem with them having the border collie. But you know, who knows, maybe it's quite a lazy maybe it's a lazy border collie. I don't know if such a thing exists. If it does and you know one or you have one, let me know, because I'd be very interested. I've never heard of a lazy border collie. Rocket does seem quite intelligent and quite on it. Like, he's already bonded with Cliff's daughter, like the little girl that lives next door. Oh, Brittany, that's it, Brittany. He's already bonded with Brittany. Brittany like adores this dog, which is also funny because, again, guys, call me out, but border collies are known to not be really child friendly. Like, they're not going to attack the kids, but they're going to, like, especially if they haven't been brought up with kids, they can be a bit nervous around them because they're quite loud, and border collies actually don't like loud noises. I'm talking like I'm a border collie. Why is that hard to say? I'm talking like I'm a border collie expert, and I'm not. I've only ever owned one dog, and that was a lab. So, but I did know someone who owned a border collie, and that's why I'm saying, like, generally they tend to be a bit like that. So I do find that unusual. I wonder, I am curious to know if this author has ever had a border collie or has a border collie, because I feel like they haven't really done their research. But I don't know, like, guys, you know, always call me out because I'm probably talking out my ass. Border collie representation is lacking. Although saying that, there was a chapter, I can't remember exactly what happened now, when that's kind of how she met Cliff, was that her dog was out in the garden, and it saw the little girl from next door, Brittany, was like poking through the fence and like trying to pet the dog, and then she ran out. She's like, oh, I don't know how he's going to react. Yeah, is it he? He's like, I don't know how he's going to react to that. Oh my god. She like panicked and was like, but they were fine. Like he was loving the attention from the little girl. So maybe that was that, and I missed that actually. Maybe that was the author trying to say like, oh yeah, good point, I don't know about the kid thing. But yeah, I don't know, I'm probably being a bit too picky. But yeah, anyway, that's it. I'm not going to talk anymore about border collies and their behaviour. Update you if there's anything else of note, but if not, I shall meet you at 50% and then meet you when I'm completed. Today is Tuesday. I'm checking in with you guys because I've just reached over halfway through, and I do apologise for my appearance. I'm working from home today. Yeah, I'm not putting makeup on, guys, I'm sorry. But also I'm freezing cold, so I've got this on. I've got my cup of tea and trying to warm up. I refuse to put the heating on yet because it's not that cold. What do I think of the book I'm reading so far? Because I've just literally reached halfway through on my break. So it is If It Makes You Happy by Olivia. Why is that so hard to say? I keep wanting to call her Olivier or Oliver. No, it's Olivia. Olivia. It's like the most easiest name to pronounce. I'm loving it. I'm actually loving it. It is so cute. Why do I think it's brilliant? I can't just go, I love it. That's it. Bye. Why do I love it? Because, by the way, why am I crying? my eyes have just teared up. I hope it goes because it looks like I'm crying. Anyway, what do I think of it? Why do I like it? Right, forget my bloody words out. I am loving the relationship between the two love interests, which is Michelle and, I forgot his name, Cliff. Or Clifford, whatever you want to call him. So cute. It's slow burn, and they've only just, and honestly, this is how you know I'm locked in, right? I'm locked into these two. My heart is going. Like, my heart is like going. I feel their relationship. I feel it as if I'm in there. I feel like I am Michelle. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so not prepared for this. I'm so unprofessional. I do apologise. I think I'm okay now. Anyway, back to Michelle and Cliff. Their relationship is the cutest thing ever. Oh my goodness. Like, I can feel myself. I feel myself feeling for them. That's how like I said, I'm locked in. I feel like I am Michelle. I mean, I'm not Michelle. She's a lot different to me in some ways, but I feel like I relate to Michelle. Like, she is very closed off. She's quite reserved. Her mum's recently died. I know I have all these things. She's kind of a loner, keeps herself to herself. She comes across a little bit abrasive than I would hope I come across. But apart from that, yeah, I do relate to her. And Cliff is just like he's like, she is queen. She is life. He just fucking adores her, glowing feet. She's like, I'm not like that. But then she can't help herself. They just find each other falling for each other. Is that a sentence? Cliff is the kind of guy that you need. I mean, it's a shame he's already got 2 kids, but she's loving it. She gets on really well with the 2 daughters, which is really sweet. The pumpkin spice, guys. I think I might. I don't know yet, but I'm just loving it. I'm loving the 90s vibes. It's so refreshing. So obviously, I talked about this in my previous clip, but as such, because I was a baby in the 90s, so obviously I don't really know anything about the 90s, if you know what I mean. As someone who, because I'm 29 years of age, right? What I'm trying to say is I can't imagine a time now where technology just didn't. I know it did exist to some extent. I know they weren't living in the dark ages, but you know what I mean? Like media mentioned. Anything like that? No mobile phone in present day. Oh yeah, they'd actually have to go around to each other's houses and talk to each other. Like, I feel kind of weird saying that out loud, but it's true. I'm thinking it's nice. I like it. It's to a 5-star. Why do I feel like something's going to piss me off at the end, though? The only thing I will say is where... I've got a problem with this dog. Well, I haven't got a problem with the dog. I've got the problem with the woman having the dog. Michelle's dog, Rocket. What's his bloody name? I keep forgetting his name. Cliff. Went to go to the neighbour's haunted maze, right? Obviously, he was out trick-or-treating with his 2 girls and the dog. God, sorry guys, it's a bit boring, but I have to explain this. Teenage daughter was with her boyfriend Josh, and they were kind of watching the little girl, like her little sister Brittany. I don't quite get, and the dog, right? Basically, they were kissing, and then that's why they had to stop, because all of a sudden they heard people trying to find Cliff, the dad, because Brittany had basically fallen over and been wounded now, so they're rushing off to ER. And they're like, well, how the hell did this happen? And apparently, I think Emily must have looked away for a couple of seconds, and Rocket the dog, which, by the way, I have to say something about this. They tied, cute little relationship, but Emily's only 6 years old, right? They tied the leash to her fucking arm. to this kid's arm, and I'm like, why would you do that? It was really irresponsible. I did not like that. I get that he's not exactly an aggressive dog, but still, like, I would never do that. Sure, I was around, like, as a parent, I would be around at the very least, but yeah, they did that. I don't know why they did that, but anyway, so obviously the dog got spooked, because guess what? And it's a border collie, because of all the, like, noises and stuff of the fucking neighbours' ghosts or something. I don't know, they've got these plastic skeletons that make noises and things like that. And so it ran, and obviously dragged little old Emily with her, bless her heart, and she was crying her eyes out, like, what the fuck? Even if the teenage daughter was meant to be watching, like, at the end of the day, she's not her parent, you know, she's still a kid herself, technically. Like, I don't know, guys, maybe, is it me? Am I... I don't know, you tell me, like, if it's me, but I thought that was really fucking irresponsible. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? But I don't know, like I said, if it's me, let me know, tell me that I'm out of pocket for saying things if I am, but on a farm working or something, like, I don't know why they've got it out, like, bloody gallivanting with the kids, and I don't know, I feel like they need a lab or a golden retriever for that kind of thing, not a fucking border collie. It's good, and I'm loving it, to be honest. I'm loving it. I think it's the characters that are making it for me, because the story's not that great, it's not that gripping. Whereas I feel hypocritical saying that, because in my last clip with Uncharmed and Rewitched, I was like, oh, it's the story, and then yeah, this story isn't gripping me necessarily, but it's the characters that are making it for me. They both love the fact that it's hard to please me. FMC Michelle, she's recently turned 30. I love that. The physical book at some point, and maybe reread it next year during autumn, because there's a lot of things, I don't know, I feel like I just want to read it. It's one book I feel like I want to read again, enjoying it. I'm thinking it might possibly even be a 5-star. I want them to get together. I know they will, but I'm like, hurry up. I want to, like, I can't wait till they, like, make out and, you know, proper make out. And I have a question for you, because you know how they, like, love Halloween over there, and it's like, and they go trick-or-treating and stuff, and like, we do have that here in the UK. I'm talking like we don't even celebrate it. We do, yeah, like, it is, but it's not. It's really hard to explain. Like, I feel like if you're British, you'll know what I mean. In America, like, everyone and their fucking nan is going out trick-or-treating, right? So I'm like, I don't understand the concept, right? So if everyone's going out trick-or-treating, who's home to say to receive the trick-or-treat? I think, how are we doing this? You leave out candy, you leave out candy in a jar or something, do you? And then they just take it. I worked it out, thinking out loud. But yeah, I just find that interesting, because they were all like, hey, everyone's going to be going out trick-or-treating. And I'm like, if everyone's out trick-or-treating, trick-or-treaters. So yeah, I was a bit confused. And like I said, if you're American, then let me know. Yeah, the fucking, oh my God. Michelle and fucking, what's his name? Cliff. I keep forgetting his name, Cliff. I'm like, just get together. Like, it's so hot. Like, they're hot. They are hot. They are hotties. They're hot. How's it going to end? We're obviously going to get together, aren't they? Come on, we can predict it. They're going to get together. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention. I don't know if I did mention this in another clip, but she's actually only meant to be there till the end of December. So, because like I said, she's helping out running the inn, I mean Michelle, because she's helping out her dad. So she's obviously going to stay, isn't she? She's going to stay, and they're going to live happily ever after. And he's going to, because he lives at the bakery next door, so they're going to, like, join her. Imagine if that isn't actually the ending. It won't, because obviously it's one of those books. But oh my God, imagine if it wasn't. That would be quite a twist, actually. I wouldn't expect that. I have finished If It Makes You Happy, and I have to say, yeah, I ended up giving this a 5-star. It is a low 5-star. I'll get to why I gave it a low 5-star in a minute. But I'm going to talk about what I loved about it. As you may have seen from my previous clip, loved the characters. I did also really appreciate the dialogue. The dialogue was done in such a way that it didn't seem cheesy. I mean, there were sort of some tiny cheesy bits, so you're going to get that with these type of books, but it wasn't like, it felt realistic. Like, it didn't feel like, it just felt like people having a conversation. I know that sounds kind of, well, yeah, that's what dialogue is, but done, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I did also really like the characters. As I said, I really related to Michelle and the love interest. What is his name? Why do I keep forgetting his name? Yeah, anyway, I liked the love interest because they were just so freaking cute. Like, so cute. Tension, the everything. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. All the characters were really well done. I feel like some of them could have been fleshed out a little bit more. Some of them were a little bit two-dimensional, and by that I'm talking about his ex-wife Tracy. Also, I did love reading about Thanksgiving. So this book is set in, it starts I think at the start of October, or it might be start of September, and it goes right on until the new year, which I didn't know that would be a winter autumn type book to read. I enjoyed reading about Thanksgiving. Obviously we don't have that here in the UK, and I actually enjoyed knowing, because I don't really know what Americans do. I know they have turkey watch on TV, which I thought was really cool and interesting. Obviously didn't know that. I think I did even prefer this to pumpkin spice, just because better. I know that's a bit of a shit explanation, but honestly I don't really know what else to say other than that. Like I said, it had all the 90s vibes, it ticked all the boxes, but I think it just felt more realistic in terms of the dialogue, in terms of the actual story. Anything particularly amazing, but it was good, it was heartfelt. 5-star. It's just because there were like niggly things that I didn't quite like, but they were so kind of niggly that it really was just very, very borderline, not even minor, I'd say probably issues that I had at the end. Where, so they obviously, the dog Rocket, the border collie, I don't have an issue with the border collie, as you know, so he was doing from the point of view, and I didn't like that. I just thought it was a bit, I get what the author was trying to do, but I was just like, I don't like that. I just thought it was a bit weird, a bit cheesy. Both of them throughout the story. I don't know if I mentioned that in another clip. So it goes through the point of view of Cliff, and so I did really Michelle. I felt like there were parts that did just drag slightly. I feel like it could have done with just being a bit more concise and wrapping that up a little bit in areas where they were talking about something or they were doing something. Overall, this is a really good book. I can't lie, I had a good time with this, so I had to give it 5 stars. Yeah, I did like the relationship. Also, you know, there were a lot of things in there that resonated with me, you know, her losing her mum and things like that. And yeah, I liked it. And like I said, I do love grumpy sunshine but reverse. And relationship, how we first met and things like that, it's not quite as intense as that. So I think maybe if this hadn't resonated with me as much, I don't know if I would have liked it as much. So I don't know, for the average person, would they like this? It is cute, it is cozy. I know I keep saying that, but it's definitely it did give the autumn vibes and Christmas vibes and Thanksgiving vibes. So I had it all. I don't know if and Halloween. I was thinking about that because I know, or at least I like to at the moment, reread the Pumpkin Spice Cafe during autumn, and I'm going to try and read the others. Where are they? Somewhere there. During the different seasons. During the different seasons. This one just felt a bit more, I don't know what the word is, a bit more bigger and more going on in it, which that's never a bad thing to read. And I reread, and I feel like the other one would just take me longer. Kind of want to kind of do it. It's one of those things, I think if I see in like a charity shop or if I see it on offer, I might buy it to reread it, go out of my way to get it. I know it was a 5-star read for me, but that doesn't always necessarily mean I have to have the copy. Oh, and I would highly recommend it. I'm going to spoil it now because I do want to talk about some stuff that actually happened. So of course they did end up together. It did the whole cheesy thing at the end, put ready to go back to her life. Oh, and by the way, she lived in Seattle. That was her city job, not New York. So she went back to Seattle, but she was in the airport, and then her third Cliff comes back and is like, don't go! Like, you know, and the dog runs through. And these are the time before 9/11, you know, because that would just not be allowed now. That's something that never happens in real life, but it's like very rarely happens. Because you always see that in movies and stuff, you know, when they're like at the airport, don't go, I love you, you know, like, and it's like, does that really happen? Especially nowadays, I can't see how that would be allowed. Think of any other recommendations for me that fit these kind of vibes, and let me know. I am aware that I've only ever really read white people, you know, with these type of books. So, you know, if you have got any other recommendations for, you know, gay, LGBT rep and, you know, different ethnicities and all that, I would be interested, because I am, like I said, I am aware that I'm only really reading white, which is a bit, yeah, I love it, I relate to it, but it is a bit boring. I'd like to diverse. Now this is it. I didn't have to film a part 2, so that's good. At least I hope not. Don't crash on me. Than I intended to. It's the 17th of October as I'm filming this, so yeah, I have filmed it a little bit shorter than what I would have liked to do. Events, I've kind of done it all. I don't really feel, if I'm going to be honest, I don't really feel like reading another autumn themed book. I think I'm all a bit autumned out now. I think I've done what I've set to do. I baked something autumnal. I went on an autumnal walk. I read autumnal books. I've been watching autumnal movies and autumnal TV shows. And I will give you a quick Gilmore Girls update because I said I would. Series 2, I think we're like halfway through series 2. Can't remember exactly. Just over halfway through, and what's happening, what was, because we literally started watching a bit of it last night, but we only watched halfway through the episode because I wanted to go to bed. But they had they were doing like the basket thing. I'm sorry guys, if you've never watched Gilmore Girls, you'll be like, what the hell is she on about? But I'm hoping a lot of you have, so you'll know what I'm on about. But they're doing the basket thing in the town where like they all have to, like, the women make baskets and the guys have to bid to get it. So we're doing that at the moment. Cute. I don't know if I mentioned it in any of my clips, probably didn't, and I understand now through TikTok is a bit of a fan favourite. I'm trying to stay away from TikTok with that because obviously there's loads of spoilers, but it's one of those TV shows I don't really care so much if I see a spoiler. It's not like, oh my god, like, it's not, I'm always a bit weird with spoilers. I'm never that worried if I do spoil it because it's, I don't know, I'm not one of those people, I just don't care really. It depends, but generally I don't. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's a whole other video actually. But I have seen that there was an episode, well, I say I have seen, there's an episode where, or whatever, kind of do that fashion show, and I really liked that episode. It was really good episode, and apparently it's a fan favourite, so I can see that now, and I really did like that. There was one episode where I really just didn't like it, and it was when, because, oh yeah, that's it, Rich is retired now, and he kept trying to like hang around with like Laurie and Lorelai, and it was just such a filler episode. It was just I really didn't like it. It was really boring. And not only boring, but I don't like what they do with the characters sometimes. Like, you can tell that they have different writers on each episode because it's just like the characters all the time. Like, and I find more with the grandparents, so like Emily and Richard, they keep like doing, one minute they'll be nice as pie and the next minute they're like, Lorelai, you messed up our lives. So, but yeah guys, thank you watching my vlog. I'm sorry I've been rambling on and on throughout this vlog. Like I said, it's my first ever. This is probably the longest one I've ever done. I believe by the time I've edited all of this, it might even be close to about 2 hours, maybe. I have tried to cut it out, but there were some things that I felt like I just had to say. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I can't thank you enough. Like I said, in the comments, please let me know, please, what kind of books you would recommend, or what kind of books that you've enjoyed, even if you don't think I would like them. It's not all about me. But yeah, so thank you guys so much, and I really enjoyed this actually. So like I said, get those recommendations into me, and I may or may not put them on my TBR for next year, so for my autumn reading list. So yeah, thank you so much guys, and I hope as always that you have a really great day. Thank you.